Hello gamers, welcome to a brand new DSP video. I did check the audio levels. I adjusted them. So hopefully this should be good. If it's not, sorry, I'll try again, but this should be good. At least you should be able to hear everything you need to hear. At least you can hear stuff. I was concerned in the last video that DSP was just completely silent. I did upload videos like that before in the past by accident, but it didn't happen. It was just the audio was a little bit whatever. So hopefully this should be good. If not, sorry, nothing I can do, dude. It's bugged audio mechanics. Not my fault. I did everything correct. Okay, I did everything correct. Clearly. All right, let's get started. Initially, I wanted to get more of the hype and build up to this documentary shit, and then lead into the cancellation. But I figured since there's more clips I want to go over, we'd be here for a super long time. So instead, we're just gonna focus on the announcement and a few clips that I want to go over. So let's get into it.
The hate army troll.
It's the hate army, bro.
Hate army.
Shout
that
out
guy.
to hate.
Good vibes to the
Shout
hate
out to
army.
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Documentary is
Shout out
out.
to hate.
Go.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for
Shout
hate.
out for hate.
Reminder that I am not a guy who has sponsorships or partnerships. There's no paid product placements here. No paid promotions, no referral codes anywhere. I'm not sitting here saying, hey, buy this seltzer, buy this lighting rig behind me, buy this piece of Mega Man art. I'm not like
You know,
that.
he says this, but there are so many instances where he sits there and tells his audience, guys, we didn't hit the glasses goal. Guys, we have the glasses in effect. We got the hats. I mean, all this stuff. That, in a way, is shilling a product. It's not shilling for them to buy, but you're shilling them a reward if they give you enough money. That's pretty much that's pretty much shilling. But I like that he views this negatively. Like, it's bad that people have sponsorships and all this stuff, because that means that they're not successful. Meanwhile, DSP is so successful, he doesn't need to do any of that. If that's the case, then maybe he doesn't need a lot of tips. He's so successful, man. I mean, come on. Think about it.
I'm just making content that my audience enjoys, and I'm happy to be able to do that and not have to become a shill for you. But in order for me to not shill, I need your support, so please continue to do so. For 15 years...
I just love that this is the relationship that he has with his audience. Give me money forever so I don't have to shill. And the thing is, he'd be so obnoxious with the shilling. He'd be the most stereotypical, corny ass shill you could imagine. This dude is like a fucking cartoon character. Like, he could get a sponsorship for, like, this pen, and then he'll go to the meme. Guys, this pen is like the best pen. I've tried other pens, and they always explode, they break, and they don't work after like an hour. This Pilot G205 pen is the best pen on the market. This pen is so good, everyone should get it. This is the best pen ever. Like, he'd do that shit. But DSP is such a lame person. He'd much rather sit there and tell you about how much he wants to wear glasses today. That's way better.
have supported my efforts to be an independent content creator on the internet. I am very appreciative of that. And I hope that you guys will continue to do so. All right?
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Guys, it's time for us to get to the main event, what everyone wants to hear about. So, I need to really do this, I need to recap, because now it's been a while since we've talked about
I love that he's hyping up the main event. But before we get to the main event, let's talk about the build-up. DSP, we've been through the build-up. We've been there.
it. So, here's the deal.
All
right? Basically, it not that it leaked, but basically it made the rounds on the internet, and then eventually I addressed it about a week or two ago.
This is ridiculous. He says that it's a leak. Oh, this and that, and it keeps happening. Because it happened with the side scrollers and all this stuff. And I'm just thinking to myself, he was in talks with Mike beforehand. He was talking to him before Mike went to Kiwi Farms. And I'm thinking to myself, why doesn't DSP talk with these people about when to announce it, when to actually do the work and all this stuff before? Like, why doesn't he discuss that with them? It's like he didn't want Mike Klum to go around saying, guys, I can't talk about it because DSP silenced me. But dude, you're both working on a project together. Like, that is something that you may want to discuss as to when to announce it, when to start the research process, all this stuff beforehand, but he never does. So he does that with the side scrollers. Craig like puts out a tweet, and he's like, he put out a tweet and all this stuff. I told him not to do it, but why not just discuss with him when or how or whatever? And saying no, and then when like it's been a while since I went over this email bullshit, but I think that Craig kind of just talked to him until like, look, I'm gonna discuss about it because I want to get questions or whatever. But it's like there could have been something else going on with that. But with this, especially with the Mike Klum documentary, he should have just discussed it more. When to announce that kind of thing. So it's not really that he leaked it. It was just Mike Klum probably assumed that it didn't matter, and he's like, oh, I'm just getting research for this documentary that's not gonna happen now, but
That I am working with a documentarian by the name of Mike Klum on making a documentary about myself here on YouTube. Now, Mike had previously made one documentary about Boogie. And that released back in October, okay? And there's mixed feelings about that documentary, all right? A lot of people seem to be of the impression that the documentary is incredibly great quality.
This is so dumb. This is such a dumb statement.
But also that the documentary...
There's a lot of opinions about this documentary. Yeah, you can say that about anything. There's a lot of opinions about me and my content.
makes Boogie look terrible. And why did Boogie even participate in it if the whole point is the documentary, didn't make him look good at all, just made him look bad? And the thing is, I had not seen the documentary, and I'll tell you, I've seen it, and
I love that sentence. That statement is a great statement. 10 out of 10, no notes. I didn't see the documentary, but I've seen it. Okay.
I agree with everybody.
I agree with everyone. Listen to that statement. I didn't see the documentary, but I've seen it and I agree with everyone. Now, let's assume that he did not mean he saw it. Let's just listen to the first part where it says he didn't see it and he agreed with everyone. Isn't that behavior that DSP said is fucked up and stupid and wrong? So many people watch the troll videos or they don't even see my stream and they just say, yeah, that's Phil the asshole. What an idiot. All these stupid people, man. They don't even watch the content and they don't like me and they agree with the hate mob that I'm a bad person. He doesn't watch the documentary, but he agrees with everyone that the documentary makes him look bad. But he also said that he did watch it. So he didn't watch it, but he did watch it, and he agreed with everyone. Pick a lane. Pick a lane, dude.
That I just think that the documentary is a sad telling of Boogie's life, And what can I say? Maybe he's just that type of person, right? And that's what he wanted.
What? Let's hear that again.
Telling of Boogie's life, And what can I say? Maybe he's just that type of person?
He's that type of person. What? He's that type of person? What does that mean?
Right? And that's what he wanted to be portrayed on the internet. I wouldn't know because I'm not Boogie.
Oh my God.
I don't know what the thought process there was.
Maybe he wanted to be seen as a sad person so people could be more sympathetic to him. This dude, it's so funny to me. It's hilarious even. He goes out of his way to make himself sound so sad and pathetic himself, and he doesn't understand why Boogie wants to look like a sad, pathetic person. This dude goes out and says, everyone's attacking me. I get kicked out of all these businesses. I've been abused over the years. People are milking me. All this stuff. Like, every time something happens, he always, like, plays the victim to, like, ridiculous levels. And he can't understand why Boogie may want to look that way. Okay.
Speaking of that documentary, okay?
Okay.
But, basically, for me, you guys know what I go through on a daily basis. You know the massive amount of harassment, slander, and nonsense that happens all the time. And you also know that I literally just ignore it. I pay no attention to any of the nonsense that happens outside.
Him ignoring it is just, if Rich talks about DSP, he'll ignore that. And all that kind of shit. But if someone, like, does something more direct to him, he can't ignore it. You know what I mean?
These streams, and when idiots try to come to the stream and troll, we just handle it, we move on maturely, and we just move on with our day. I don't let it affect me or derail me or stop me, right? I love what I do for a living. I love my private, personal life. I love everything about my life. I'm not going to let
he loves his private life.
Negative influences all over the internet stop me from having a great, positive life. I just refuse, okay? And maybe to some extent.
Well, of course. I mean, the stuff that happens to him only affects his business. Like, that would be insane. That a troll can, like, affect his personal life. That makes no sense. Come on, think about it.
That's one of the major reasons why I get so much negativity is because people can't stand that. They can't stand that someone survives against all odds.
Oh my god, dude. And then he's, like, flexing that he survives. Dude. It's not hard to survive when you beg to your audience and you have people dumb enough to, like, fall for it. Like, this dude, I love that this dude is sitting there like, I survive all this stuff, but he always, like, plays ridiculous, like, mind games on his audience to give him money. Guys, I'm afraid there's a pattern brewing and all this stuff. He could get like $1,000 and he'll try to convince his audience that it may not clear, and we need to think about that.
That someone is still, a hair in my mouth, successful despite all the efforts of so many people who, for some.
And the thing is, he says this like we're like that we want to end his career. No one cares about his career ending. I mean, sure, some people are like, well, you should stop doing this as a job and this and that, and that's whatever. That's their opinion. But so many people are just like, this guy is an idiot, and get a load of this. Like, that's all that's going on, is just people saying, get a load of this. Look how dumb this guy is. And he's like, yeah, these people, they want to end me. Honestly, this dude deserves to just get a lot of false copyright strikes just for fun. Like, he deserves it because he's such a hard worker.
Very weird, confusing reason want to hurt me, right? So
weird, confusing reason that people want to hurt him. Dude, you said LTG is your bitch, man. Why do you want LTG to be your bitch so badly? And who wants to hurt him? The thing is, I've seen people want him to get a job or whatever, but I haven't seen a lot of people, like, seriously say, I want him to get beat up. Let's beat him up. And mean it, like, in all seriousness. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Get man.
Oh, it is what it is. And the thing is that over the years, obviously, I have learned to basically be a more private person. I don't show you guys my private life anymore. I used to be. When I started on YouTube, everything was transparent. I was vlogging.
This is stupid. The person stuff he showed us was just vlogging in his kitchen and where he plays video games. And he acts as if he does all, like, we saw him, like, pay his bills and do his taxes or some shit. He didn't. All he did that was personal was take pictures of his TV to show us what he's watching, which, you know, is the same as his day off segments. If anything, you could even argue his day off segments go into more detail than what he used to do. Again, the thing is, he is so fixated on that one YouTube video of the guy just tallying off all the things he owns and how much money it costs. He's still thinking about that video, like, every day. He's like, oh man, I can't show you this, guys, because then the trolls are gonna know how much my coffee maker is.
Everything that I did in my house when I went on trips, You know, I had
Trips.
vlogs out the ass. Even when I moved out here 10 years ago, I was vlogging the whole move and everything. And then what I found is that increasingly, as this crazy toxicity movement towards me on
And
the
the
internet,
thing is, when he was moving, we didn't see him do actual moving. We just saw him in the Seattle house in the empty office, and him just reading stream chat explaining, "Oh, there's gonna be furniture here. Don't worry." And then he also did a video of him in the kitchen talking about how echoey it is, and that's it. He acts as if like we saw a lot of crazy shit. We didn't. He did house tours. I mean, that's just like trying to make money off of like people like this is our office, our warehouse tour or whatever. But it's like it's your house, dude. Like who cares? Come on.
continued, right? People just kept escalating the level. It wasn't just, oh, Phil's a bad gamer anymore, or Phil's videos aren't that good anymore. It became, Phil's a bad person. We want to actually hurt Phil. Let's do it.
We want
We can't.
we want to hurt Phil because he's a bad person. That's subjective. You could be a bad person because you make bad videos. You could be a bad person for how you talk about people. This dude has so many rants against so many people that he comes off as a bad person because there's so much double standards and nonsense coming from him. And he's saying, "Oh, well, people are just saying this because they think I'm a bad person." That's subjective. There are people who also think you're a good person, but just as much as there's people who think you're a bad person. Like, how many people brag about being a good person in reality? And are actual good people? Not a lot, because guess what? If you're genuinely a good person, you're not gonna brag about how much of a good person you are.
To ruin Phil's life. And so a lot of those private things that I put out there in my vlogging ended up being used as toxic, insulting, or even dangerous.
Toxic, insulting. So just watching a video he uploaded and saying, "Wow, look, he doesn't know how to eat ramen or whatever." It was such a bad thing. But this dude goes on and on saying, "Oh, it's okay to make fun of me, man. It's one thing to make fun of me. It's another thing to point a gun at me. It's one thing to say my gameplay sucks. It's another to say I deserve to die." Like, come on. Like this dude is so insecure about all this stuff, and he makes this like separation, and it's fine to like separate personal and stuff you stream or whatever, but he acts as if it's such a big thing or a massive change. It actually isn't. It's just he stopped doing vlogs because I guess to him, vlogging is like super personal or whatever, but it's not. You decide what's a vlog. Not everyone who does vlogs vlog a lot. You know, they don't vlog all nonsense because the only reason he was vlogging a lot back then was because he couldn't make money off of gaming, and he used the vlog money to support the gaming. So it benefited him to vlog more. And now it's the opposite. So guess what we see more of? Like, this dude is ridiculous.
Things against myself and my family. I always tell the story, all right, that basically one day I was doing a vlog in my kitchen, and I can't remember what it was. It could have been like a DSP Tries It, which I used to do all the time, where I would try products, eat food, and rate it. And I had a statement sitting on my
And the only time he did actual, like, talk dumb shit that was super personal was he showed us his mailing address in a video. He put it to the camera. But there you go.
countertop by accident. It shouldn't have been there, but I left it there for the filming. I didn't realize it.
He didn't realize it. This dude walked into a room, got a camera, moved it around, and didn't think, oh shit, that statement was there? Oh, fuck. And he could have just canceled the video, or he could have just edited it, or he could have just done some minor effort to hide the bill statement. This dude, like, he's blaming his laziness on trolls. Like, I get it, sure, that it's fucked up that people took that information to do that to him. But the thing is, there's been so much other nonsense that's worse than that. Because again, when it happened in his story, he said that the power company called him to verify if he wanted to turn the power off. He said no, and they didn't do it. So it was already a meaningless gesture that was able to be stopped. But he had someone get into his bank accounts, showed us his bank statements, He got someone worked in Comcast, fucked with his internet. Like, these are way worse things, and swatted him, by the way, are way worse things than, oh, a dude called his power company and they called him to verify.
Just for just a couple frames, it panned into the camera, right? These people are so crazy, they called the utility.
And the thing is, when that happened, he told us even then, before he recorded that video, that the trolls were crazy. Again, he got swatted before that bill statement was shown. Think about it. Someone was willing to call the cops on him to send them to his house, and he told us that that's tantamount to attempted murder, dude. So he had a troll that was willing to do that, and he doesn't think that, oh shit, they may look at the bill statement to do something. I mean, come on.
Company, as listed on that statement, they impersonated me with very basic info, and they told the company to turn off my power. You may think that's funny, but it's not. That's basically a pain in the ass for everyone involved, for them, for me.
Dude, they did that, and then they called him to verify, and he said no, and they're like, okay, and that's it. That's the extent. I think the bank leaks were probably more involved, for very obvious reasons.
They can't just flip a switch like this. It's a thing to turn power off and on. It costs money. It costs time.
Yeah,
and if
but
it turns off,
that's if they do it, but they have to call you to verify.
What if I have no power now for a day or two, and I can't work, and there's no heat? It's fucked up.
But this is dumb. Because also think about this, right? Those are 2 days of no power, so he's not gonna be. So the electric bill should be lowered, correct? But he brings up heat. I'm just like, dude, this happened during the summer. You should not be having the heat run during the summer. He acts as if like this was in the dead of winter with a giant snowstorm. Come on.
This is what people do. That's how crazy they are. Now, this is a story from many years ago. Since then, things have escalated to levels you guys don't even want to know about, with the level of things that have happened to Harassment.
Again, he says this, but worse shit happened, and he told us immediately. The Comcast thing, he immediately mentioned it on the podcast. He talked about the day of. Then when the bank leaks happened, he talked about it on the podcast. He told us stuff that happened to him. So this, like, oh, I didn't tell you the crazy stuff that happened. Dude, you would if it happened. Because again, he got swatted. A Comcast employee fucked with him. What else is going on with him? Is a troll like breaking into his house and like doing shit? Like, this is so stupid. What's happening that we don't know that's so bad? Because at some point, whoever is doing this should just brag about it. Because he's not gonna tell us, and we can't see it, right? But when the Comcast stuff happened, we immediately knew about it. The bank leaks happened, we immediately knew about it the next day. Like, come on.
With myself and my family, okay? So that's just one example. So that's why you guys don't see me doing that kind of stuff anymore. I've made this very sharp division between what you see on camera and what's my private life off camera. You'll see stuff.
The only division thing is just to hide what he has in his house. Like, fine, yeah, I mean, sure, don't show us your fucking platinum statue that you have in the fucking basement, but whatever, man.
In this office, and that's it. I don't go through my house vlogging. I don't show you what my wife and I do privately. That's none of your business, all right?
He just talks about it on the day off segment. He has a whole segment that's hyped up for talking about his day off and what he does. Okay.
And, in fact...
He also made it our responsibility to know about his tire getting stolen. We knew about the tire getting stolen of his car. We didn't need to know. That's the funny thing. We didn't need to know about the fucking tire. And yet he told us immediately.
Even my wife, Kat, has stayed, off camera for a very long time. It's only recently, in the last couple of weeks, that she's made the active decision to come back into my content and start being on my streams again, which I'm very happy about.
You know what's funny about Kat being on his streams again? The week of the final family Q&A was the same week that he canceled the documentary. That is such a funny coincidence to me that it just so happens to line up. And the other funny thing is, all that's left is the infinite wealth thing. Because the thing is, when you watch the first Family Night Q&A, after that, DSP kept talking about, there might be another one next week. Oh, we could do another one next week. Oh, yeah, another one. And I say this all the time. If DSP talks a lot about something, he's gonna do it. Like, he talked about doing another Q&A, another Family Night stream, a lot. When the first one finished, the pre-stream after that, and then the pre-stream after that, all of that, like, he kept talking about it, and then it happened. The second one happens, and suddenly he has no interest. He always like, yeah, maybe next week, but the next one we're definitely gonna do infinite wealth. So it was very obvious he wasn't gonna do a third Family Night Q&A stream, and I don't think we're gonna get another one. So I think once the infinite wealth shit happens, we will never see Kat again. Once that is done and over with, we're not going to see her in his content again. This is such a load of bullshit that he wants to put onto us, but he's not going to have her in his content again. This is the same shit, and I guarantee, and you know what, I'm not going to guarantee it, but watch. When they're done with the infinite wealth stuff, he's going to find some way to, like, make it a victim segment as to why Kat won't be on streams anymore. To destroy any question of, hey Phil, are we gonna play this game with Kat? Is Kat gonna go to this stuff? So instead of just getting these constant questions about Kat being involved, he's gonna make some bullshit up that, the trolls were mean, so she's not gonna be in the content anymore, so people will not ask him anymore. I guarantee it's gonna be some bullshit like that. Because again, people assumed that Kat got only involved in the streams because of Mike Klum. And that could be very much the case. But I also think that it's just going to be another thing he's going to do for a while, and then it's going to be over with, and we'll never see her again. So, guys, just enjoy Kat until the end of Infinite Wealth, and then we'll never see her again. She'll never come in. They'll say, oh, Phil, this new co-op game's coming out. Are you going to do it with Kat? No, man, we're not going to do it, man. We're not interested. They're either going to say it's the troll's fault, or none of the games are interesting to them. Just suddenly, all of the games will not be interesting to them. So it's going to be some bullshit like that.
But even then, look how long it took to get that level of, like, trust and feeling that it was going to be okay to do so.
Dude, look at that. I just noticed this. He's saying how long it took us to get the trust. Dude, you're married. You're married, stupid. She had to like build trust to be in the same stream with her fucking husband. I mean, think about that. What trust was there, dude? Like, I would have assumed Kat would at least trust DSP to control the chat, but he's telling us that he had to build trust with Kat to get her on stream. That's a very weird like thing to say. You know what I mean?
Oh, and it would be safe, right?
Safe.
So, with that level of separation has come kind of an air of mystery. People who just make stuff up, crazy conspiracies, and everyone's always wondered, what's it like in Phil's life? Because we don't see Phil's life. It's this level.
Let's hear this again.
Air of mystery. People who just make stuff up, crazy conspiracies.
This air of mystery. No one gives a fuck. No one sits there and it's like, well, what's going on in like his private life? The only time that has happened, it was just cat sightings, which is like, was borderline on like stupid shit. Because again, I've said this so many times. I never believe the divorce shit because again, DSP is DSP. No one leaves the pig pen without being thrown under the bus. Kat was still being defended by Phil. So it doesn't make sense. DSP has always shat on people in some way. But all DSP's been saying is Kat's so cool. Oh, she's making delicious dinner, man. Oh, Kat's so cool. If they were divorced, he would either say shut up and all this other shit. But no, he defended her, so there's no way. So that's number one. That's the number one thing, was people saying that they were divorced. Two was that it was a mystery if she got fat. Maybe she got fat. Who was this other girl in the car with him? But it's like, dude, like, he fattens all his people up in his life. The second Leanna left, her looks did a 180. Her personality, who knows? I don't know. You know what I mean? Come on.
And everyone's always wondered, what's it like in Phil's life? Because we don't see Phil's life. It's this level of mystique almost.
But he tells us every day we see the real Phil. And again, the real life Phil is stuff that's like paying bills, going to the grocery store, sitting in the couch next to Kat. Like, what else is he doing? He's acting as if like he's a superhero by night or some dumb shit. Dude, you tell us every day that you're busy in the office and all this other nonsense. Why doesn't he record himself working on his own fucking stream uploads? What about that? No.
Around it. And in truth, I don't think it's that interesting, but I guess a lot of people are very interested about the personal side of Darkside Phil, okay? So, basically, for a few months now, this isn't just something that happened recently. This is something that's been worked on now for a few months, is that Mike Klum and I got into discussions and everything about a documentary and what it would be. And as I've explained to you guys, all right, this documentary is not an interview.
Yeah.
This is not...
An interview and a documentary are two very different things. Oh my god. Sorry, like I went to the bathroom obviously, and I can pause the recording, so I just wanted to check to see if anything fucked up happened. Nothing fucked up happened, luckily. OBS stuck together, hang in there.
Someone sitting down with me and getting answers to questions, and then you interpret it as you want. This is supposed to be my life story.
Dude, you can still... okay, you know what? This is funny, right? He's sitting there saying, like, oh, you can interpret an interview however you want. I mean, the thing is, I guess he's talking about the side-scroller stuff inadvertently here. And the thing is, the only reason why you can interpret it however you want is because these are questions that are just like, so people say this, is that true, and this and that. Like, it's those kind of questions. But if someone says, so what did you think of, like, of your playthrough of Breath of the Wild? And he could say, well, when I made it, it was this and that. Like, something like that, there's only so much you can interpret from that. But when it comes to, like, stuff that's saying, people accuse you of this, true or false, and that's a little bit different. But anyways, that aside, he's saying that, like, an interview, it's more up to interpretation, and a documentary is more black and white or whatever. But that can also be up to interpretation because it's the voice of the documentarian that you'll either have to believe or try to understand how far the research went and all this kind of stuff. I mean, a lot of things can change throughout the editing and all this kind of stuff. And I guarantee you, if let's say this documentary happened and it's released, DC is definitely gonna hit you with the well, some people don't agree with it, whatever, man, it's your opinion, man. And it's gonna be the same shit you said about the interview when it first was a positive, fair interview.
This is covering, me growing up as a kid, what it was like for me in school, and then growing up becoming a...
Why do we need to know about how he worked in school? Who fucking cares? The thing is, so this is what I said about this documentary about DSP from Mike Klum, is that who really cares? These kind of documentaries seem very easy. Like I kind of feel Mike Klum only wants to focus on these kind of people because it's easy for him to kind of flex or build a portfolio of work. So he could show someone, like, look, this is what I can do. I can do this, I can do that, and just show a potential client that he can make something. Or he could just use it to learn, and then he can make better documentaries in the future. Like, at some point, I kind of feel, to a degree, Mike Klum's either going to just continue what he's doing, because I think he works on a PR firm or whatever. So either keep doing that, or he wants to keep making documentaries. He's just going to eventually expand and move on from doing individual YouTuber nonsense and do other stuff. Because again, that's very finite. And again, people like DSP are boring people innately in that kind of presentation. Again, it's not like you're making a documentary on someone who made movies or something, like, oh, because if there's a documentary on Hideki Anno who did Ava, and they did a documentary on him working on the last Ava rebuild movie, which is interesting because you see, why it took him so long to make that movie, what went into that movie. You saw him, like, he did a whole model set of, like, the first half of the movie. It was really interesting. What did he get with him? Oh yeah, he gets out of bed. He eats a muffin. He then waddles up into his office and he starts his day. Like, come on.
Gamer, and then getting into competitive Street Fighter and what that was like, and having people
Like, if he kept doing the fighting game stuff, it probably would be way better for him to do this documentary than, like, what DSP is now.
from along my life involved in this project, people who positively like me and know me and can talk about my history and past because they were there.
Like who?
Okay, it is literally a biography.
Are they gonna get
it's
Leanna?
a documentary and a biography of me. Okay, now this isn't just going to be positive stuff, because no one wants to just watch a video that's just going to kiss my ass for an hour straight. This is also going to cover all of the stuff that's been going on in the last 15 years since I became a YouTuber, a lot of which has been toxic and negative. People are going to be featured in this, including some of my biggest critics on the internet, to get their take on what it is they really don't like about me and they have a problem with me for, and stuff like that.
I love that when he said that, he like squinted at the camera like, oh, they're gonna talk about why they don't like me. Like, it's some crazy thing that people may not like Phil. Like, look at it. Look at this. Look at this guy.
People are going to be featured in this, including some of my biggest critics on the internet, to get their take on what it is they really don't like about me and they have a problem with me for, and stuff.
Like, it just shows a little bit that he doesn't believe that we have any valid reason. Like, we can't possibly have a valid reason why we dislike Phil. Phil is so hard to dislike because he's such a cool guy.
Like that, okay?
Okay.
So basically, it's supposed to be an even-sided documentary. Yes, there's going to be positive stuff and there's going to be negative. But for the first time ever, it'll all be together in one thing.
It's kind of funny that he hyped it up as, this will be the first time I'll be responding to it. Yeah! And all this shit. Okay, but now we're just gonna hear why the trolls don't like him, and then why DSP likes him, or whatever. Like, that's the extent that we're gonna get. It was just that. Okay?
Right?
Right.
As opposed to, well, if you want to hear anything negative, watch one of these 5,000 people that just shit on me for clickbait views on YouTube, and they all benefit by doing it. But if you want to hear something positive about me, you gotta come watch me on my content.
Dude, like, the reason why we make these videos, or the reason, like, I'm just gonna talk about myself, okay? Okay, guys? The reason why I make videos about DSP is because it's just, I want to express a little bit more than just a tweet or whatever as to why DSP is a fucking idiot sometimes. Like, when he's going through this, it's just a lot of nonsense that it's just dumb. And I just want to kind of put it out there. Now, of course, if you want to know about DSP, then you're gonna check him out. Whatever. People have gone to his channel and gave him the meme. I saw you on the troll videos and I decided to give you a chance. And it's a lot good enough for him. This dude is fucking lame. Lame as fuck.
Because who's gonna do that? When you're seeing 5,000 negative things about someone, who's gonna actually bother?
There's so many people who still give people a chance despite them having a problematic reputation. Like, this dude acts as if, like, the moment someone says that you're a doo-doo head, they're done. Like, come on. People have done worse stuff than what DSP has done. They still have some notoriety on the internet and just have a career. Whatever.
Come check out the real content the person makes to see if any of it's true. Not many people. As testament to that, right now, on stream we have 500 viewers. As opposed to, if one of these toxic streamers turns on their stream just to shit on me for an hour, they probably get thousands of viewers. But
that depends on the channel, though. Like, I could go live and start shitting on DSP. That doesn't mean I'm gonna get thousands of people. If anything, I don't get thousands of people. I get, like, what? Like, a couple hundred? I don't know. I mean, I know it's more than two. I know it's more than two people.
that's idiot people on the internet. That's what they like. When you're a
Oh my god. And then we get this rain toxicity.
As opposed to if one of these toxic streamers turns on their stream just to shit on me for an hour, they probably get thousands of viewers because that's idiot people on the internet.
See, and this is the thing that's really ridiculous. He's talking about how people should give him a chance and all of this stuff, but he's willing to call these people who watch troll videos stupid people. And then he gets mad when trolls say that people who watch Phil are stupid people, and say, "How dare you call them stupid?" What was that noise? I don't know. I thought hopefully it's nothing important, man. But this dude gets so mad that trolls call his fans fucking stupid and shit. But he calls all these people stupid because they watch troll videos. What if they watch the troll video? They give you a chance and they end up liking you. Now, thinking about this, all these fucking people, let's assume that all the people that told DSP that they gave him a chance and they stuck around are genuine people, right? They watch this segment and they're like, "Oh shit. I was one of those stupid people. Why is he, huh?" But I guess it's because he got a brain, he woke up and realized they give him a chance and loved him, right? Correct?
That's what they like. You know, when you're a complete asshole and all you care about is hurting others, you enjoy negative, toxic content.
I can't get over this. By the way, so when I was making this video or thinking about this video, I was like, "Oh, should I do the raw video? Should I go to Snort Hogan or whatever?" But then I chose Hate Army because look at the fucking filter. This is like an avant-garde decision to make. You have actually four fills. You got the big upside down giant fill in the background like a fucking monster. You have the devil side fill on like the red face fill, which is the devil. Then you have the angel on the other shoulder, angel side fill. And then you got DSP in the center. And it does kind of it throws me off a little bit. These two are like in sync, but this one it kind of isn't, but sometimes he is. It's really interesting. So I really like the decision. This is a very avant-garde video. Hey, you know, I was thinking about this. I saw this other movie called Inside by another Greek director. It's with William Dafoe in it, and it's about this guy who's trying to steal someone's artwork, and he gets locked into this guy's mansion, and he has to survive because he can't get out. Whatever. Great movie, and it's made by a Greek director. So him, got Yorgos Lanthimos, who is also guess what? He's Greek, and they make such banger movies. And we got Hate Army, who's also a fellow Greek, who does this. It must be a Greek thing, you know. Greeks are just built different, obviously. You know, maybe I need to tap into my inner Greek to actually put something more creative out there. One day, you're gonna see someone from me that's gonna be so like out there. You're like, "Whoa, Theo really is Greek. Look at this weird thing."
You get your jollies off when someone else is hurting. Good for you. You're a really good person, right? I mean, no, those people.
Oh my god.
Asshole. And all you care about is hurting others.
So then I like that he assumes that you either the people who make the video or watch the troll videos get up to seeing people hurt. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, the video I'm watching now and the other video I watched last week and all this other stuff is during the part of DSP's life that he says it's the best. Oh, this is such a great time of his life. He's happy, all this stuff. So he's not really hurting. So what are we getting off to here? According to DSP, he's not in pain. He's not depressed. He's not going through any rut. It's not like 2017, right? All this shit. And he's acting as if like we're seeing someone get hurt. Who's getting hurt here? His character, because we're saying he's a doo-doo head or whatever? I mean, but who cares? That's not as bad as like actual videos of people getting actually hurt. Like, come on.
You enjoy negative, toxic content. You get your jollies off when someone else is hurting. Good for you.
Again, there are worse videos out there about other people than what people do to DSP, and DSP acts as if it's one of the pile of videos that have caused harm. Like, come on, man.
a really good person, right? I mean, no, those people
And then he says, "Oh my god."
asshole, and all you care about is hurting others. You enjoy negative, toxic content. You get your jollies off when someone else is hurting. Good for you. You're a really good person, right? I mean, no.
Who is saying that they're a good person? No one has said they're a good person. Oh my god, this is another banger. I mean, why is this like? It feels really weird. Okay, finally. Jeez, it's like really uneven. I gotta get this. What? Oh man, I caught something else that I didn't want to catch. Nothing important. Like the angel side Phil looks like he's like, right. but But no one brags about being a good person. Like, like, when did I say I'm a great person? The only person that I have seen that went out of the way to brag about being a good person is DSP. DSP is the only person that is telling us he's such a good person.
Those people are not good people, but there's ridiculous amounts of them on this planet. It's sad that that's what's happened to human society, right?
And then he says, it's a shame what happened to the human society. This dude, there was a DSP Reacts where a guy got pulled over by the cops or whatever, and the dude was telling the cops, "Oh, it's society's fault" or whatever. Like he was talking about society, and D's like, "Oh right, society. Oh yeah, blame society, idiot." And I'm just like, dude, you complain about society all the time. And the thing that like who's ever been sending these fucking clips to DSP with cops in them, it just shows how much DSP loves cops. He loves the police. He will bend over for them. No critical thought in his head about the police at all. Just loves them immediately. It's ridiculous, but whatever. I'm not going to try to get too political about the cops, man. But this dude was like making fun of the dude for talking about society. But what if society led him to that crime, DSP? What if society didn't let him get a job? What if society isolated him? People who get isolated might do some fucked up shit because society, man. But no. That guy is an idiot for complaining about society. Meanwhile, DSP is sitting there talking about society, making people make fun of him. Dude, come on. Come on. And this is the same guy that tells us that he's such a good person. Oh, and all this other shit. But no one brags about being a good person. For a guy who's like a Catholic person, who's raised Catholic and he learned the value of true sacrifice, charity should be sacrificed, and all this stuff. He brags about being a good person, and I'm pretty sure in religion, they probably tell you not to do that. To brag about being such a good person. Just act like a normal person. Just be good to one another, or whatever the fuck. When did it say that Jesus went around bragging about helping the poor? Did Jesus go around and be like, I give bread to the poor, look at me, guys, I'm such a cool person, I'm giving bread to the poor, yes, look at me. Oh, these other people, they want to kill me, but look at me, I'm still helping the poor. Like, did Jesus go around doing that? No, because Jesus isn't an attention whore. Come on. Come on, man.
So, the thing is, all the attempts that I've made to try to get a fair shake have never worked. You know, I had an interview with the Quartering many years ago, and I felt the interview went fine, except when
What about the other interviews with other people? I was thinking about this, like, whatever. Tevin mentioned it in his video he uploaded yesterday. And he mentions that either that or it was on stream, or it was one of the two. And he mentions how he was with other people doing other interviews in the past. And yeah, he just doesn't talk about them. Because they're not important people. Like, honestly, is Jake James Lugo a real person and a very important person? He can't even get AMC to notice him, okay?
Interview ended, everyone just gave him shit because he didn't just stand there and pester me constantly.
the reason why people gave the quartering a lot of shit was, one, quartering just sucks. Secondly, all of the questions are all surface level questions. You don't even need to watch that interview to like figure out. Like, come on. And a lot of the quizzes are just stupid and uninformed or just not rehearsed or just thought of. Like, there was no thought in any of the questions. It was really the tantamount of like you're doing like a presentation and you worked on it the night before. The night before the presentation, you did the work. And it's like, yeah, it shows that you did this very last minute. And that's what it came off as. The only thing about that interview that is actually fun to think about that we got out of it was DSP openly saying that, oh yeah, the $1,000 tip goal was just a random number I pulled out of my head. I knew I wasn't gonna hit $1,000. I just pulled it out of my head, man. But the day of the marathon, he said that this was a calculated number he needed to hit, and he was gonna have a reward at the end. But in the quartering, he said that it was an arbitrary number. He just came out, that he just kind of pulled out of nowhere, and he was always going to show Jasper. He was always going to show him anyway. But in the marathon, he didn't say that at all. Huh? And that was it. That's the only value. That, and then you see how much of a slob this guy is, because you saw a lot of like boxes in the background and how he had a lot of dust.
With toxic conspiracy theory questions. So everyone's like, oh, that interview sucked. Then I go on side scrollers. And
yeah, because it sounded like a pre-stream. Like, that's what sucked about it. Whatever.
For 5 hours, they pound
He chose to be there for 5 hours, by the way, but okay. He wanted the pounding.
me with questions. Never prepared me for the questions, by the way. Just
And get a load of this. DSP, when he was watching the debriefing stream, he called Adam a disingenuous piece of shit because he mentions that they talked before the stream, and they told him, look, we're not gonna bring up Kat. Don't worry, we're not gonna bring that up because we understand that's like your private life or whatever. And DSP told them, no, talk about my wife. Let's talk about her restraining order and all this other like nonsense. And they're like, oh, okay, if you want, whatever. And look at him now, being disingenuous. What a shocker. DSP being disingenuous never happened before, right? He then mentions how they didn't like prepare him for the questions. Dude, they literally talked to you about the questions beforehand. That's how you told them you want to talk about your wife. Secondly, they made a Twitter post that was very fucking public. You could, I don't know, look at the questions they were getting and assume, oh, maybe they're going to ask about this or that, whatever. And he went into the interview telling us this was going to be the interview that we were going to go to like, to see his side of things or whatever the fuck. Like, this makes no sense. It's just more nonsense to make him look like a victim. But he isn't because he chose to be there. And again, they told him, oh, we're going to do this now. He could have just said, I don't want to do that. I want to do what we initially talked about before. But suddenly, he just couldn't do that. He couldn't get Craig to change his mind. I mean, what? Again, it's one thing. It's one thing, okay? If Craig wanted to change the initial interview to be more about his nonsense or whatever, and behind DSP's back, like, there was no discussion. He just changed the idea and he got him on the show. That's one thing. But Craig went to him and said that he wants to do this. He could easily told him no. Like, was Craig gonna tell him, no, you have to do it? Like, he chose to do it. And again, in that interview, they first mentioned, can we bring Keemstar on? He said no. Okay. After there was a disconnection, they talked to Keemstar. They got DSP back on. They asked him again if you'd be okay with Keemstar to be on. Again, he could have said no. He said yes. And then he's mad that they brought Keemstar in. But dude, you said yes. It's one thing to say yes, and Keemstar joins the call, and it's another when you say no, and Keemstar is on the call anyway. Like, that's a completely different situation. But okay, you go.
pounded me with these questions. I answered to the best of my ability, but it became apparent that they were trying to trap me into some kind of a big confession that wasn't going to happen because I wasn't going to confess.
And this is silly that he is dedicated, that they were trying to trap him to a confession. He only says that because Adam mentions something like, oh, whoa, Craig, calm down, man. It sounds like you're trying to get a confession out of him. And which is like a very like nothing statement. I mean, you can infer a lot if you really want to. But the thing is, again, he could have just shown that he was another user. He could have just said, well, Greg, here's my username. And his username could be a fucking Papa Smurf. And all Craig would have said was, okay, so he's not down from the rafters or whatever. And he could have and told us that he verified it by looking at the stuff that DSP sent him, and he could say, yeah, this is the WWE Champions login, and it says, and it's not the down from the rafters handle. That's all that he was gonna say. And DSP was like, wait a minute, guys, I need to think about this one. I need to do this and do that. But dude, you knew the interview was coming in advance. Like, you could have assumed, at the very least, maybe WWE Champions could be a topic, and you could find ways to prove your innocence. But no, he always assumes that the assumption of innocence, the innocence until proven guilty, means that he doesn't have to prove that that's not him or whatever. That he doesn't have to prove that he's not down from the Raptors. He could just say no. But the thing is, there's all this evidence that backs him being down from the rafters to the point where people want more evidence that that's not him. And the thing is, the whole innocence until proven guilty is only so that the jury doesn't have a judgment already. That doesn't mean that you're innocent. You could be very much guilty of the crime you're being accused of, just as much as you could be innocent. That's all it means, so that you're not painting the person one way or the other in case the person may not have done it. That's all that it means. That doesn't mean that they don't have to prove their innocence. They have to. That's all that it means. If I'm accused of a crime and I didn't do it, that doesn't mean I don't have to prove my innocence. I have to show up, prove to them, look, I was here that day. I have witnesses saying I was in this area. I could not possibly be over there because I'm over here. I can't just say I'm over there and they have to say, okay, he said so, so there you go. I have to prove that to them. I can't just say, that can't be me because I was at this other bar, so how could it be me? Oh, okay. I mean, no, I have to show to them that I was at this other bar to a point where it's like, okay, he can't possibly have done it. That kind of shit. I can't just say no and then walk away. Like, that's not how it works. Because there's all this evidence that shows that it could be him, and he can't just say, nuh-uh. Like, that's not evidence of him not doing it. So, all Craig wanted was just any proof from Phil that he did, that it's not him. And Daisy couldn't offer anything. So, what's that supposed to make Craig think?
To something I didn't do, but this is what they were banking.
And again, all he asked was, if he spent money in WWE Champions or whatever. He didn't, like, he acts as if he's trying to trap him into a confession, but all of the questions were open-ended questions. It was like, so, like, is your account, like, this amount of words? Can you say that, like, does your username have the word down in it? Did you spend this amount? Do you spend that amount? Does this guild mean anything to you? Does this faction mean anything to you? Like, he acted as if that was the question, but it was just, can you send me your username so I can look at it? I won't share it, but I'll look at it and I'll verify with you that you're not down from the rafters or whatever the fuck. No, he couldn't even do that. He told him, I gotta wait. I gotta talk to other people about it. And it's like, what the fuck does that mean? He hasn't talked to Kat about sending Craig his login information to WWE Champions. Not login, just his username or whatever. And he tells us after the fact, oh, I had all this evidence I'm not going to send to Craig now. But it's like, it doesn't mean anything. Because he wanted it then and there because you could verify it then and there. Arguably, I would still not fully believe it because either he's gonna show some funny ass evidence that's not even what we're looking for. That's one. Two, the logic of, well, now if he shows it, it could be doctored or whatever. It's true even if he showed it there, because again, it wasn't like he did this interview like the next day after people realized he's down from the Raptors or anything. This was like years, months down the line, and this was even months after he was announced. So I mean, come on, think about that. He could have still doctored or given a different name if he was that cunning or whatever. I mean, it's all these silly things that could happen, but whatever.
That they were going to get the scoop and they were going to get me to confess to all this stuff that I didn't do.
And again, he thinks that he needs to be guilty for it to be a big scoop. For it to be a big deal, it has to be true. When in reality, either turnout would be big. Because again, everyone thinks he dropped like thousands and thousands of dollars on WWE champions. So it would still be a banger news drop to show that it wasn't him. Like, that's why that daily rap with his phone and the camera was such a big video, because it's WWE champions on the phone. Does it mean that he's down from the Raptors? It could be. It could also mean nothing. But it shows that he plays the game. He admits he plays the game. But if he went on the side scrollers and showed that his name was Papa Smurf and not down from the Rafters, that would still be a big thing, because that would mean someone else was doing it, and that would be another thing that will be another L for the trolls, because some troll spent thousands of dollars to make him look bad and look like a clown doing it. You know what I mean? Like, he acts as if that the confession needs to be true for it to be a big deal. But if it's found out that he's not down from the Rafters, it's still a big deal. Come on.
So that they would be able to break the story on the internet and get notoriety, so that then their show could get big and they could make money.
Why is he so terrified of showing his innocence to Craig, right? And then he says this stuff like that they get notoriety. They got it even after that. Like, it's ridiculous. It's such a dumb claim because they got it anyway. Even if it didn't happen, he'd still be saying the same shit. Oh, they milked me for attention, man.
Right? When that didn't happen.
Because guess what? He said that even before the WWE Championship happened anyway. Anyone that talked about DSP, he said that we were taking advantage of him. Come on.
Instead, they turned it into a way to shit on me for months on end and make money off of my detractors, right? So again, whenever I try in some way to get a fair shake.
But again, all these fair shakes didn't have a outcome that he was happy with. So that's why it didn't pass. It's just dumb to say this.
Right? It doesn't happen. So this documentary is the best chance I can have to get a fair shake. And because I'm, involved in it and I'm going to have a positive side to it, right? I feel like that's why it's going to be even and balanced and fair. Yes, there's going to be negative stuff there. And by the way, it's also going to be funny. There's going to be a lot of comedy stuff in there too. My life is also happy and positive and fun. This is not just serious business, Phil. Although I'm sure there are going to be moments in there talking about private stuff about my life and things that I've been through. But there's going to be funny stuff in there too, right? Like, that's the whole idea, is to make a 1 hour or so length entertaining show for everyone on the internet, right? This is supposed to be entertaining for...
How can you please everyone if you can't please everyone all the time, and you can only please some of the people all the time, huh?
My fans, this is supposed to be entertaining for my haters, but also for a whole new audience, for those...
I've never heard anyone who makes anything, say that they want to make content for the haters like this. This is really stupid. Because again, why are you making content for people who hate you? Shouldn't you be making content for people who love you and your content and new people?
We're neutral and have only heard about me through memes and other hearsay to actually get a full story of who I am. This is supposed to be the way to know everything about me in one go. The positive and the negative, instead of just the negative, which is all you hear on the internet, right?
Right.
So anyway. Yeah, I've been in talks and working with Mike Klum for months on this, all right? And we've had brainstorming sessions.
Dude, the extent of him working with Mike Lum is so exaggerated from him because I think it was November when the Boogie documentary dropped. People asked DSP if he was going to react to it. He said it was drama. He doesn't want to touch it. He doesn't want to even acknowledge it, blah, 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 blah. And all of this stuff. During that time, Mike Lum did a super chat saying, hey, Phil, I think he said he was interested in doing a documentary with him or whatever. He asked for his email address or whatever the fuck to talk to him. And then they talked to him for a month or so. Then they announced it in January or whatever. Like, that's pretty much it. And then in January, he flew out to hang out with DSP and Kat, and then he flew out, and now we're here. And the thing is, a lot of people bring up the 10,000 that Mike dropped on to work with DSP, and I don't feel bad. This is gonna sound really mean and toxic, so get ready for toxic side Theo here. But when it comes to working with DSP, you get what you pay for. DSP has a history of like just shitting on people and just not giving any ounce of like respect for other people's time. Just look how he handled John and Howard and Respect the Pack. He doesn't give a fuck about these people. So all these people who are willing to give DSP a chance are really just wasting their energy on him. So like honestly, it's part of the risk of doing projects. And I listened to a little bit of the Rich and Mike interview that happened like after this, talking about the cancellation, and Mike does understand that that's just how it happens sometimes. You invest in a project and it just doesn't come to be, whatever. But it's just DSP doesn't even deserve the possibility of that even happening because he's such a piece of shit anyway. But whatever.
And we've actually met and talked about this stuff, and basically now, we're in the stage where it's time to set stuff in stone, concrete, filming schedule.
And I remember he was finishing stream saying, "Okay, guys, I gotta do my meeting with Mike now, man. I gotta actually meet with him and talk about all this stuff, man. It's gonna be so busy, man. Oh man, it's gonna be so cool." And this dude is such a massive clown. I noticed this new pattern that emerged, right? Last year, he starts the year off with 3 big announcements. Or 3 key ideas for DSP Reacts. DSP versus the internet. Long form React streams. DSP asks it. 1 gets like fucking hard canceled. Like, it was only in the thought stage, then just killed off. Just take out back, killed. The long form React streams lasted a while, but then just got killed off. Like, it lasted a bit. And then, then it got soft canceled. And all that's left is DSP versus the internet because it's the easy one to keep doing and to constantly do. Now, maybe a little bit different for meme reasons, but it was the easy one to keep doing and keep going with. This year starts, and we already have 3 big announcements. DSP Throwback, Cat back on stream, Mike Klum documentary. The Mike Klum documentary gets hard canceled. Just canceled before it even grew legs. The Cat stuff is gonna get soft canceled. It's gonna exist for a while, and then it's gonna be boring, and no one's gonna care anymore. There's no games out. There's no co-op game to play. There's nothing to do, man. And the Family Night Q&A is all boring and same question. So, in the end, we're not gonna be doing any cat streams anymore. So there you go. Cat gone. She won't show up for the React streams for no reason. She won't show up for the DSP Throwback streams or anything. Just gone immediately. And then, so that leaves the DSP Throwback channel being the only thing left because it's the easiest thing to maintain. This is the new cycle. I cannot wait until 2025 hits and we have another 3-pronged plan where 1 gets hard canceled, soft canceled, and 1 remains because it's the easiest out of the 3. I can't wait to see what the new thing will be because this is so lame. Why hype up an entire year of doing something and then just canceling it within a year and only doing the most easy brain dead shit forever, right? Like, come on.
And all of that. Okay? So, as you know, a few weeks ago, the story broke on the internet that this was happening. Okay? And of course, people started asking me. And a couple weeks ago, I told you guys publicly about it.
And it's so funny as well. He didn't want to talk at all about the documentary other than, don't talk about it. I'm doing work behind the scenes. Don't talk about it. Don't ask me any questions about it or anything. Like, it really just shows how little thought really went into this documentary, in my opinion. I feel like Mike probably did a little bit more of the work in the concept phase than DSP did, in my opinion.
And the feedback that I got was, let me just put it this way, fearful.
Dude, now we get to the lame brain stupid shit. This is the shit that I say that he does to Cat all the time. He reinforces the bad, and then when the chat starts to feel that, he's like, whoa, guys, do you feel this way? This dude, like, would sit next to Cat and be like, hey, Cat, so, like, the trolls are gonna make fun of you. They're gonna make fun of your weight. They're gonna make fun of how you look. Yeah, man, I know. They called me a horse. Oh, yeah, I know they were talking about my weight. And we're gonna laugh at them. I know that they make fun of her, but we're gonna laugh at them. You know, Cat? It's okay, honey. You're. Hey, there's a troll. Don't worry about it, baby. Don't worry about it, baby. And all that shit. And now we do that with the audience. Guys, these people took advantage of me and milked me. Phil, this looks like they're gonna milk you again. What? You guys seem really scared, man. Yeah, you instilled fear into them about anything.
Okay? That's the feedback I got. Fear. Right? It wasn't, whoa, this is great news. It wasn't, oh, this is interesting. It was, well, I'm afraid now. Why?
It's so funny to me. When he first announced it, he was only focusing on the positive. The only people that were being negative were like special people and 1 Minute Man, which I guess is a special person. But 1 Minute Man is a massive dumbass. Like, this dude is such a baby. It's, you know, ever since 1 Minute Man started to talk, like, it was kind of a downhill ride, but he is even more obnoxious now. He is so awful. He's one of the worst people that's in his community. Because this dude is such a little bitch. Oh, Baldur's Gate 3, wow! He loves Baldur's Gate 3. He, like, fucking claps. He helps Phil play the game. All this stuff. But then when he plays Pal World or some other dumbass game, 1 Minute Man is like, yeah, you know, I would like it if you played Baldur's Gate 3 instead of this game. And it's like, this dude is such a little bitch. This is an attitude that DSP shed on other people for acting like, I'm not streaming just for you, okay? I'm not your special person to control and tell me what you want to see me do. And 1 Minute Man can pretty much say that all day, every day. These people will like laugh and pat him on the back because he gets his money daily. And you know, that's one of the clips we're gonna watch, and this dude's a massive cock. This dude is literally saying like, yeah, the trolls, they have no lives, and they are so dependent on you, Phil, and they do this. 1 Minute Man, you give Phil your money every day at the same time, to the point where he has odd reactions to you giving money, and then we have segments if you don't give money. Where's 1 Minute Man? Did he die? Like, think about that 1 Minute Man. You tell us every day how the trolls have no lives, yet you are dedicated enough to give Phil money at a scheduled time, where DSP even says it's a scheduled tip. Think about that, stupid. Mr. Oh, these trolls have no lives. You don't have a life. This dude is telling us that we don't have lives. At least, like, you know, we don't have scheduled uploads. Like, you have scheduled tip arrangements with fucking Philip Burnell. You know, 1 Minute Man, so go fucking, hop on a plane and hang out with your favorite guy.
Was the feedback that I got fearful from my audience? Because keep in mind, I get feedback from
The only bitch that was scared was 1 Minute Man. 1 Minute Man was probably like, he probably lost sleep. He was like, oh fuck, my Clum's gonna talk about Phil. Oh my god, the trolls. Oh my god. He was probably crying. He was probably crying for weeks in fear. He's probably sitting there. He's probably fucking. You know, let's assume he's married. 1 Minute Man sitting at a dinner table. His wife giving him food, and his kids sitting there, and they're having a good time. And 1 Minute Man sitting like, oh god, fucking Phil is doing this documentary. It's gonna hurt him so bad. Oh my god. He was probably freaking out. He's freaking the fuck out.
audience. I'm absolutely sure that in the hater detractor circles, they were dancing for joy because they're
It's so funny. It's actually, it was kind of, not really the opposite, but it was technically the opposite in the sense that when it was announced, the trolls were like, oh my god, he's gonna get another person to like, to pignatize the masses. It was pretty much that kind of sentiment to the point where it was just like, where it went from that to then realizing at the end of the day, who fucking cares? Like that's, and it transitioned to that within a day. Less than a day. It went from, oh god, to, who cares? You know, at most. But then when people started to realize, wait, DSP fans are gonna be part of it? Oh man, that's something. And that became more interesting. Like at least, like that at least was an interesting idea, right? Correct? The only people that were like super duper scared were the fans. The only, like it's insane. No one was dancing for joy except for like Rich and DSP and random people.
hoping to get any little piece.
Like I love that he assumes that the trolls are like this thirsty to know what's going on behind the scenes. And I just don't get then if that's the case, if you know who the trolls want to know your private life that badly, then why do you want to make a documentary showing it then? Like why is he trying to find a way to give us that content? Like dude, just like I said this before. The thing that's mostly annoying about the documentary shit that was more annoying to me is that this dude spent years saying, I'm done working with other people. I'm just gonna sit here and play games. I don't want to do any of that stuff or whatever. And look at him then. He says all of that to then go on to say, I'm gonna work with Mike Klum on a documentary. And it's like it's as I said, the most annoying aspect of DSP is how much he goes back on his own fucking shit. Like that's the worst aspect of it, honestly.
Of information about my life that they can then use for something new for them. Keep in mind that the moment that anything happens involving me, they get content and they make money on it. So it's like a field day for them. If Phil's really doing a documentary, every piece of information that comes out about this documentary is going to become content for them. So this is great because they don't have to work anymore. They're just going to sit back and they're just going to relax and they're going to enjoy and they're going to revel in it.
What? What is? So, if Michael made this documentary and he uploads it, that's content for us, and we don't have to work. Like, in what aspect? Working to get to know your personal stuff? Like, no one's really working that hard to find out, Phil.
And they're going to get every moment of it, right? And they're hoping ultimately that when this documentary comes out, it's going to end up being bad for me. Just like the documentary for Boogie. Because, ladies and gentlemen,
dude, like, my guy, the only way it would be bad for you is because you'd eventually find a way to make it toxic. And he kind of already did with this, by the way. It's so funny. So, like, to get a little bit ahead, I have other videos lined up that we're gonna watch where he literally starts to kind of slowly toxify the Mike Klum documentary in weird ways. Meanwhile, at the same time, saying he's still willing to work with him. It's so, like, schizophrenic and all over the place because DSP doesn't know what to do. He can't make a decision anymore. He can't decide because he's so concerned with all these other of these what ifs. He focused on the what ifs to the point where it's like, why should I drive a car? I could get into a car accident kind of thinking. Why should I try new food? I may not like it. Yeah, what if?
and as much as Boogie probably doesn't want to admit it, that documentary hurt him way more than it helped him.
Honestly, I don't think that documentary means anything. Like, when you're uploading a video of yourself crawling towards a camera and saying, sorry, Papa Keemstar, I don't think that documentary could hurt him anymore. You know, I think it's just Boogie at this point.
It made him look worse, and more people actually make fun of him now than before, which I'm sure was not the intention. I mean, this is why the guy's on the Lolcow podcast. This is why the guy is exposing himself on Twitch to try to get attention.
Dude, like, this is so stupid. It was dumb Twitch meta shit that was going on because of the fucking moderation nonsense. It was just really stupid. And like it's just dumb all around.
because he's desperate. Okay? That's not good. And certainly that's not the situation that I want to put.
What if he's just having fun? You notice that, like, when people say, "Oh, it's desperate for Phil to get money," that's why he puts on glasses and that, and this, it's him having fun. But when people have like other kinds of fun, that's bad. I mean, dude, like, what if like he was very progressive, saying, "Who cares about seeing a naked body?" Whatever, man.
Myself into with this documentary at all. It's the opposite. I'm trying to give myself positive exposure, not negative exposure, and making people feel
Man,
bad.
what if Boogie was just secure enough about his nudity? He was just like, "Yeah, I'm fucking fat. Deal with it, America. Yeah, get a load of this." Oh my god, this is another good picture. We gotta get this one.
Or sorry or think I'm pathetic. It's the opposite. So I'm a positive guy and I persevere through all this stuff. That
Dude, you are pathetic though. He doesn't think it's pathetic to tell his audience, guys, it would be nice if you tipped. Guys, no one has tipped in an hour. No one has tipped in 2 hours. People tipped in the podcast and they dipped, man. I need tips, man. Oh, please tip. Oh, guys, I'm streaming on D3 Reacts and I'm not getting a lot of money, man. And I'm gonna be streaming on D3 Throwback today. I don't know how that's gonna go, guys. Come on, please support the stream. Please support. That's not pathetic. Okay.
people throw at me, it's a completely different story than Boogie's, right? But the truth here is that people are right. The one piece of stuff out there that Mike Klum has done that everyone knows was basically a negative piece about Boogie and made him look bad. So my viewers are like, well, how is that going to help you? If the one example you have of what this guy's done actually kind of hurt Boogie, right? Made him look worse.
But did Boogie view it as that? Like, this is the other thing, is that people are subjectively saying, "Oh, this didn't do Boogie any favors," or whatever. But what if Boogie didn't care and he said, "Oh, this is fine"? Like, he brings this up as if it's some massive thing, but what's important is that Boogie liked it. If Boogie liked it, isn't that what should matter?
Then why on earth would you trust this guy to make a documentary with you? And again, I'm telling you, this is not that kind of a documentary. It's very different, all right? That's why I'm into it and all of that. It's not. I would not be doing a documentary that's, oh, it's the sad life of Darkside Phil. My life is not sad, okay? Now also, I know for a fact that many of you, in fact, a lot of you, are afraid of drama and problems. Because here's the deal, and this is what I know today.
I love that he's telling his audience that they're afraid of drama. DSP, you made it such a big deal last year that you wanted to be a drama-free zone, and instilled the fear of potential drama about anything. This dude is blaming his audience for being afraid when he instilled the fear into them. Like, come on, man.
And this is what I've learned over time and experience. As a 41-year-old adult, I'm well aware that my actions directly affect not just me, but the people around me. My family and my viewers are directly affected by the decisions that I make in my life. And I feel that, sadly, there's a lot of times in the last 10 to 15 years that I've been a YouTuber that I was not self-aware enough to know that. And therefore, I would say and do things that then would end up negatively affecting everyone around me in a very negative way, right?
Right, correct.
And that's my fault. And I publicly apologize to any of you out there who may have been put through drama and nonsense because of me. You know, perfect example here,
dude.
That Side Scrollers podcast. I had already made the decision to not do an interview.
Get all of this.
Because of me. You know, perfect example here, that Side Scrollers podcast.
Okay, so how did it affect the viewers? Let's think about this, right? Did the viewers get bullied? No. I mean, they were already getting bullied anyway, but no. Did they have to change their name? Like, he acts as if like they had to go into hiding or something. They had to change their name or some shit. Like, how did it affect them? It didn't. People still go into his chat, troll him, and then they get banned. Like, nothing really meaningful changed.
I had already made the decision to not do an interview. I had decided against.
You know what? No, actually, no. Maybe this is what he means. It does affect them because he's talking about himself, man. Think about it. He did the Side Scrolls podcast. He liked it. The next day, he got so pissed off, he changed the entire stream to cry about it. And his fans are like, and that's how it affected them. DSP would just rant and cry about it, and the fans don't like to see him do that, but he did it anyway because he forces himself to. Because again, it's really bizarre when you see him in that fucking video. He starts off by saying, "I just want things to go back to normalcy, and I want to do it, but I can't do that. I'm not allowed to do it." And it's like, what the fuck does that mean? Did Craig like tell you to do that stream, or he was gonna shoot you or some shit? Like, did something happen? No, you chose to make a reaction video stream about it because you wanted to. And he's like, giving me, I'm being forced to do it because they said something, I can't defend myself. My guy, you offered nothing new, and it was just you being a baby. Like, dude, go back to when they were like, yeah, you know that piece of paper was blank. He fucking looked like he was ready to be, like, cry mad. He looked at it like, oh, yeah. He gets off, like, really pissed off, to show a piece of paper, like a little baby. And it's like, dude, you didn't have to do any of this. And he keeps talking about how he's so mature, and he's above it all, and all this other bullshit. But doing that stream is what children do. If you're genuinely better than everyone else that you say you are, or whatever the fuck, you could have just not did that stream and continued your merry way. That would have been the big thing to do. So this is what I was talking, this is the other thing. When John and Howard did that initial video about DSP immediately wanted to respond to it. Immediately. But everyone told them not to because, dude, they're just pissed off, okay? Just be the bigger man and just move on. He then decides, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna make the video. I'm not gonna do it, okay, guys? I'm gonna move on positively. And it's like, wow, for once DSP decided to take the high road. But no, in reality, the reason why he didn't want to do it was because they could respond. So he waited for them to be so obscure that they couldn't respond to him. But he responds to Craig because he knows he can be a victim. This dude is such a piece of shit. He only wants to respond if it makes him look like a victim or the person will not respond. He knew to a degree that Craig could respond, but at the same time, he knew he also looked like a little bitch about it. So people would be like, "Oh, poor Phil," because that's how he talked about. Look how he was talking during the John and Howard video. He was so matter of fact and just pissed off. That's all it was. It was just matter of fact, and he knew what to say. But when it was like the reaction, it was just more like, "Oh my god, man, I was there and they did this to me, man. They hurt me." And he focused on that. Like, it was ridiculous. This dude is such a piece of I was gonna say piece of baby, piece of shit. He wants so badly to be the victim. And he knows he could be a victim. He knew. That's the thing. After that interview, he knew it could go one or two ways. Either people are gonna say whatever and he'll be able to go about his day and it was fine. If it went south, he knew he had a free victim card segment. It was ridiculous. This dude is a massive clown. Get out of here.
Originally, the idea was I wanted an interview, but then things were going good. And I said, I don't want an interview. I don't need it. Things are going fine. And then all...
Oh my god. You know what? This is more bullshit. More bullshit. You know, it was a vague idea when I listened to this initially, but now it really hit. It really hit different. Think about when he wanted to do the DSP asks it, the interview idea, right? He said that, "Oh, I can't do it now because things are not good. I need to wait for it to be good, and then I'll do an interview," or whatever the fuck. Even back when he asked for an interview, he said, "Well, I don't want it now because the new games are coming out. I want to wait until later. All this shit. Later came, and I really doubt anyone seriously took him up on that. And then he got into the side scrollers and all this other bullshit. So he wanted the interview because he was doing bad. This dude is such a scammer. Think about the implication. He wanted to do it when he's low so he could get more views off it. This dude is such a piece of shit. He can never work with anyone, genuinely, unless it benefits him. Come on.
All of a sudden, the side scrollers contact me to be on their show, and I said, yeah, I'll just be a guest on your show. And then they decide they want to turn it into an interview, which wasn't the idea and wasn't my intention.
Again, they talked about this, and presumably you could probably assume DSP could have told them, I don't want to do that. I'm more interested in the other idea I did. I didn't want to do this, and he could have backed out. But he decided to go with it. Because again, like, if he was afraid, he bullied himself into doing it. Because I guarantee you, the reason why he said he'll do it is because he's like, well, then Craig could publish the email that I said that I backed out and call me a bitch. I can't be known as a bitch. But dude, if you don't want to do something, that's whatever. People don't even think you're a bitch anyway. Like, dude, just be a grown-up for once. People turn stuff down all the time. Just say no. But he peer pressures himself.
But here I am trusting a guy who I've worked with over the years, multiple.
The extent that he worked with Craig was just, hey Craig, can I have a panel at this one convention? Okay, dude. And that's it. There really wasn't anything else. And he acts as if like they were buddy. Like DSP was right there when Craig was doing something.
Times and never screwed me over, and then he basically decides this is his big opportunity to get over on someone and make a lot of money and get a lot of attention for himself because he's a greedy asshole, right? So I got screwed in that situation, and what happened was you guys were negatively affected.
He did a stream talking about it. Isn't that also milking the situation and milking the drama?
My wife was negatively affected. My family.
How was she affected? Because she watched it? Oh my god, these people, man. DSP and Cat are very special people.
Family was negatively affected. It wasn't just me.
How is it? He says my cat was my wife was affected. My family. So did Papa Burnell get a call? Hey, Papa Burnell, Phil did a dumb interview and he looked like an idiot. Like, dude, you made the decision. Suffer the consequences.
And that's not good. This is not just about me. This is about everyone involved, okay?
This is an abusive relationship. Why is it everyone's responsibility or like whatever? Something happens to you, it happens to everyone. Like, fuck off.
Okay? And I apologize for that. And so, you know, it's a big.
You know what? You can also say this apology is complete trash. Because think about it. He apologized that he got them involved, right? And he says, that's why I'm not going to work with anyone. He then immediately worked with Mike Klum. And even in this cancellation video, he's still open to the idea. So this apology it's not meaningful at all. It's complete trash. It's a complete abusive apology. Just a fake apology to make one Minuteman like wet his pants. Like, come on.
Step to do a documentary, all right, where a lot of stuff that probably a lot of people don't know, or maybe it's just a lot of stuff people have forgotten because I don't talk about it anymore, is going to come to light. And there's going to be a lot of stuff in one focused area of concentration about me, right? Likely it's going to dredge up a lot of old shit that no one cares about anymore, but some people will be hearing about it for the first time, so now people will care again, even though it doesn't matter, you know?
You know?
Basically, I've done a lot of work to improve myself over the last 6-7 years.
What was the work? Nothing. You're still a piece of shit. If anything, you just worked hard to be more annoying and obnoxious. That's the work. Just being the most corny, fucking lame-ass piece of shit.
I became a full-time streamer. I've dropped a lot of personas and monikers and things I used to do because I feel like in the modern day they're toxic and not positive enough of something that I want to portray to the internet being that I am a content creator and just
Dude, he told us he was positive for so long. He kept the King of Hate name for so long. And then when people told him this is kind of a fucked up name, he doubled down on it and told them that they're wrong. And again, if he's such a positive person, he could have at least, when people told him the slave trade joke was offensive or that or whatever, he could have just said, "Oh, yeah, man, I'm sorry. I thought it was joke. I thought it was funny because I was trying to make fun of this thing and it went to somewhere else, and I could see why you thought I was making that kind of joke, and it was bad of me. I should have been more careful or whatever." But instead, he got mad and said that they're wrong and they're twisting his words and all this nonsense. It's ridiculous.
some people, yes, I know how crazy this sounds, but to some people I actually am sort of a role model. And so I don't
Dude, there's so many videos saying that he doesn't want to be people's gurus and shit.
want to portray
And he also mocks other YouTubers for this. He mocks so many people for looking at other YouTubers as role models. And then here he's bragging about being a role model? Huh? This fucking dude, man.
myself in that way to those people who are looking up to me, right? So I've done my best to change for the better, but a documentary is going to dredge up those old things and have them be exposed again to an audience who might feel like they're
Dude, it's a fucking documentary. And he told us it's the highs and lows. Like, he really thinks his viewers are that stupid to not realize that a documentary about DSP was gonna cover the highs and lows. And if the modern day Phil is such a positive, the movie is gonna have a positive ending, correct? Like, come on.
fresh again, right?
And honestly, imagine how sad that must be. That talking about DSP's like old content makes you fucking that hurt. It hurts you. What? It's like him doing something causes trauma by disassociation or whatever. Like, what? And again, if that's the case, then why do they want DSP Throwback to be such a success, Phil? If that's the case.
So,
So,
with all this going on, all right, there has been work going on behind the scenes on the documentary. All right, there has been. And like I said, now is the time that we're hashing out concretely things like filming schedule, how much work is going to go into it, what it's going to entail to do this, because there's going to be filming in the house, there's going to be filming outside of the house, other places as well, you know, professional studio work and stuff like that.
what's the studio work?
It's a big endeavor to put out a professional looking documentary. This is not just a throw together piece. This
I
is
sure love you saying such a lot of work. What's the work you're gonna do, Phil?
not,
Yeah.
you know, someone talking over footage of detractor shit that they've accumulated over the last 15 years and acting like that's a documentary. It's not.
This dude has given such fake ass clout about documentaries and documentarian and all that shit to the same videos. Aka June the King. June the King does this. And DSP's like, this guy is so cool. Wow, man. Frederick Knudsen did it. Cool guy. Frederick Knudsen's a cool guy. Turkey Tom does it. What a hack job, right? And the thing is, none of these people actively sought out the title of documentarian. And DSP gave it to them. And all this other bullshit. And he's like, yeah, these other people, they did this. But you watch it, Phil. You watch the June the King videos. Okay.
It's not. It's a no effort garbage is what that is. This is a real documentary, okay? So,
No effort garbage. Man, June the King beat the fuck out by his best friend. Like, I just want June the King to just see this part and then look at me and say, Theo, DSP's a cool guy. I get it. Because, dude, how can you make videos that DSP's actively saying is no effort and say DSP is right? Like, come on.
all right? Here's the big update, ladies and gentlemen, I have for all of you. All right? All things considered, everything going on, all right? As of today, the documentary is canceled.
What did I say?
And then we get this clown. The clown show has now entered the stream. The video.
What the fuck did I say, detractors? What did I say? He's bailing!
Didn't Rich, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Rich say the documentary would be canceled because people kept making fun of Kat? But the thing is, they were gonna make fun of Kat even if they didn't see her. So so whatever, okay? Okay, that's number one. Number two, the reason why he canceled it is really no one's fault but DSP. So this is a massive L for Rich, but Rich is so desperate. He just really wants the clout. Imagine falling so far that the only way you can feel like you could get clout is to dunk on DSP trolls, which is like, I mean, just imagine being in that position.
Suck my fucking dick. I told you. I goddamn told you. And all of you cried like bitches. You're more of dents than Phil's dents. Cry.
That's such a dumb statement, just on a fundamental level. Because one, we don't give Phil money for dumb nonsense. Only the DSP dents do. Come on.
Cry hard, Snort Hogan. Cry hard, Cult of Hate. Keep crying.
Hey, you leave Cult of Hate alone. Leave him out of this, okay? He's a fellow Greek, and let me tell you, the whole country will come down on you, Rich. You know, we make the Greek citizens all join the army, so they always have a full roster of people ready to march.
Because I was right and you were wrong. Kiss my fucking ring and bow before me, you motherfuckers.
No.
Mwah.
God.
All right.
I don't think it was intentional, but that I just love. He finishes the rant and then the video just plays again.
And you were wrong. Kiss my fucking ring and bow before me, you motherfuckers.
And why does he? And he says that, but then he kisses his phone. So he's the one kissing the trolls. You know what I mean? Like, he's the one kissing us. This is assault, Rich, and I don't appreciate
Mwah.
it. It just restarts. I just love. Then it's like his mouth is open and everything, and then we get greeted to this. The first frame when he returned to when we return to Phil, the first thing we see is 3 Phil heads like, yeah, that's right. Rich, you just saw that.
All right. And I'm going to tell you why. Because there's a few major factors involved in this decision. All right. And it was not an easy decision to make because I've been working on.
And the thing that's kind of funny, when he said it was canceled, he said it in a way that he says all his jokes. So people like didn't believe it. It was like, what?
This for months with Mike. And we've been going back and forth about stuff. And it was a tough one. All right. But allow me to explain what's actually going on. All right. So, number one, to do a documentary like this is going to be incredibly time consuming. I'm talking weeks of work, likely away from being here and streaming with you guys, or really broken schedules and messed up stuff, right? So
he has broken schedules anyway. Like, okay.
For example, entire days of filming that I'm not streaming at all, a day where my schedule's way off and I'm doing kind of a half stream and then I'm running around. We're talking days I probably wouldn't even see my wife because I'd be so busy.
That's such a dumb statement. He's acting as if like he's gonna fly out, but again, he also talks as if like Kat's gonna die soon. Like she's on the deathbed. Like, dude, people don't see their loved ones all the time, and they like some space sometimes. And this dude like wants to be attached to the hip with her. Like, dude, what is up with this? This like thirst to hang out with Kat all the time. Like, dude, I get you love her and shit, but dude, Like, come on.
right?
So clean.
And again, we're not just filming here, but also filming. I'm having to travel and go around to do this filming and stuff like that. So just that, number one, that's a big endeavor. And by the way, that's not the reason why I'm coming to this decision, but it's a factor in it. Okay. But basically, there's so many other factors
Dude,
going
that is true. He could have realized this at the start. Whatever.
on. Some of these you
But
guys,
again, classic Phil. He has to play with it with the food. He got to play with it with Mike, just like he did with Keem. He kept like teasing Keem about contacting him for something he didn't want to do. He actually did not want to work with Keem, but he kept like teasing Keem and like dragging him around. And it's like, dude, just fucking like finish it and just say no. And he did that with Mike. And it's more egregious with Mike because you can at least say that, well, DSP did that to Keem because he fucking hates him and he didn't care for his time or whatever the fuck. Okay. But he did this to a guy that was genuinely interested in working with him. And it's like, dude, yeah, projects don't work out all the time, but this dude was just wasting time with him. When if that was a factor, he should have realized that he didn't need Mike to fly in to literally come to that realization.
know and some of you don't. Like, for example, I've got personal stuff going on behind the scenes in my life that none of you have any idea about. All right? You just don't, because I don't share a lot of my personal stuff with you guys. As you know, over the last year, there's been a few days where I've told you guys things are going on. I'm not in the right mindset, or I'm not feeling well because of stuff, and that stuff's ongoing. So already, I'm kind of already at a limit of kind of stress in my life right now with that stuff going on. And that really sucks.
Yeah, no one has stress, guys. Only Phil. Phil is the king of stress.
And let me also put it this way, okay? In order for this documentary to work, it would need to be even-sided, right? So you need to have an equal level of good and bad, balanced. What's happened is, since the word of the documentary hit the internet,
and you know what's funny? You know what's funny? If the roles were reversed, and DSP flew out to talk to his potential documentary guy or whatever, and it canceled, he would be bitching so much. I spent a money to fly in and he canceled on me. That's money I can't get back, man. And get this, I also paid for dinner, and he canceled on me.
98% of the interest is the toxic negative. Everyone who hates me wants to be a part of this thing or have input in it. So
oh my god, let's hear this again.
The documentary hit the internet. There's 98% of the interest is the toxic negative.
Again, Michael made a Kiwi Farms thread. DSP already knows who goes to Kiwi Farms. So okay, they're interested. Secondly, he said that the trolls were gonna be involved anyway. So what do you think is gonna happen? Whatever.
Everyone who hates me wants to be a part of this thing or have input.
Dude, Mike Lum was going to people's fucking chats and asking them, hey, do you want to be involved? Hey, do you want to do this? Like, the only person he didn't ask was me, But that's fine, because I would turn him down, because I would not want to be involved in something that may backfire. You know what I mean? I just want to do my own thing, man.
Put in it so they can slam me and make me look terrible, just like they do on a daily basis for personal gain on YouTube, right? So that's where the interest lies. My viewers and my fans and those who actually like me have reached out to me over the last several weeks, and some of you, I want to appreciate everyone.
Again, you notice that this dude is yet again using his fans as a shield. Typical Phil move. Classic even. Like, I would have been surprised if he did not use his fans as a shield with this. Like, I would be genuinely surprised. Because I knew he would. One
of you who reached out to me and gave me your true feelings about this, all right? I had people who I haven't heard from in years reach out to me and say, don't do this documentary.
People reach out with years, who?
That basically, this is not going to work. that it's just going to end up being a field day for people to bring up old shit that I've grown out of, but act like it just happened, right?
Dude, they're doing it anyway. What statement is that? They're going to take old stuff and say you're doing it today. Yeah, they like today, like right now, the second.
And there's other people also who basically are like, you know, I'd like to be a part of this. Like, I'd like to support you as a fan, but how could we viably do that? And I mean, you're talking about, like, for example, let's say we wanted to have a fan of mine be a part of this documentary. Well, you don't want to give up their identity because trolls actually harass my fans if they...
Dude. Do they not know that documentaries can, like, censor people? Like, they can, like, block them out. They can, like, hide their identity and all this stuff and just have a testimonial without anyone knowing? Do they not know they could do that? Or that's an option? Okay.
can. They've doxed them. They've messed with their personal lives. So what are we going to do? Like, create an identity protection situation where we have to black their face out and voice change them?
Dude, I'm sorry. If he's complaining about that amount of work, then he's an idiot, because that's just part of the job of making a documentary. Not everyone wants to be involved, and there might be some people that want to be involved, but they want to protect their identity. This dude is like, oh my god, they have to do this. Oh no, they have to work. Oh my god. Like, come on.
Film them in a dark room and just to have a fan of mine talk positively about me, right? Like, how...
If that's what they wanted, like, he's acting as if that they have to do it with everyone, but if the fan is fine with revealing their identity, that's on them. Like, dude, this is such a meme. It's such a meme.
crazy is that when you really think about it? And, you know, I want to say thank you because, again, there were a few people who I was working with to basically be kind of those people. And I appreciate that a couple people did step up and said they actually would do it. But do I really want to put people through that? Because, again, what you guys got to understand here.
Dude, this dude is, like, so afraid of you owning their responsibility. Like, again, this is, like, this should I say about Kat? She dated a person and moved into a person that has the most trolls, who gets trolled a lot. And then it's like, what? He gets trolled? Like, dude, if they're willing to just do that, they need to understand the risks. And if they still say, yes, I'll do it, then, you know, what can you do?
This is not just about me anymore. If I were younger, if this were me back in Connecticut, in my condo in Connecticut, and the documentary was being made about me, it's just about me. Who cares, right? But now, I'm older, I'm more mature, and I realize that this affects everyone. Not just me. So my concern here is listening to
did the Boogie fan base like get destroyed by the Boogie documentary?
all of your feedback. Here's the feedback that generally I've gotten from you guys in the last 2 weeks since basically this was announced, right? Since the Side Scrollers interview, so much drama happened. You know, first there was the fallout from that interview and literally 3 or 4 months where those guys ragged on me, did constant
Yeah, but that's like on them though. They did all that stuff and you supposedly ignored them. Like, this is like stupid to even bring up.
About me stuttering, Craig wanted to come on my content, you know, bullshit. All nonsense.
Bullshit. But he wanted to play Street Fighter, man.
Just to make money. And then finally they shut the fuck up. But then Keemstar interjected himself because he now wanted to get popularity.
Dude, this is so dumb. He brings up Keemstar. My guy, Keemstar was trying to get you on his stupid-ass podcast way before the Side Scrollers. It's to the point it was just Keem being thirsty for you.
This lolcow podcast bullshit, and then he persisted for months and months with that. And then finally now, we're at a time and a level where the air is clearing, and things are calm, and there's nothing really going on in the drama sphere at all, and people are actually just enjoying coming by and being a part of my content.
People were enjoying coming by last year anyway. This is so dumb.
And not having to hear about this nonsense and that nonsense and this nonsense and that.
Yeah, but guess who they hear it from? You, stupid, because you bring it up.
Nonsense. Now, here's the thing. There's always going to be some nonsense. Right now, with these trolls and the stupid false gifted memberships and all that, there will always be a level of that. But the thing is, there's some things you can ignore, and there's some things you can't really ignore or can't control. The whole nonsense with the fake memberships is easily controllable. You ignore it, you ban the person, you move on. But if you've got every person on the internet talking again about me in a negative drama way, it's going to affect everyone again, right?
Right.
And right now we're in a situation where I'm really stressed out already. I'm also incredibly busy. You know, not only am I running DSP Gaming, but now I got this new project with DSP Throwback that was already in the works.
Dude, this is like nonsense to even bring up. DSP Throwback, all he's doing is just uploading. That's all he's doing on that stupid channel. And he's acting as if it's such a big endeavor. Like, shut up.
And going, right? And now
Right.
that's hitting full swing with its first stream and everything, and I got to be focusing somewhat on that. I'm still maintaining the React show every week, once a week, and I'm trying to find new content for that. In fact, we need to start talking about the Super Bowl
How is he finding new content for the React channel when it's all user submitted?
event tomorrow to start planning it. And then on top of all of that, my wife has finally made the decision to come back into my content. And Kat now has been here on 2 streams, which have been awesome. And now we're trying to plan out the content where she can do co-op gameplay and commentary with me. And that's a lot of work, too, to figure that all out.
No, it's
right?
not, because you're not doing anything. You're just doing infinite wealth. And I guess the working to find out is when to unlock the Animal Crossing mode. But he could just Google it, and he could find out in 2 seconds. But the other thing is, it's just going to be that mode, and then once that's done, we'll never see her again. I guarantee you, mark my fucking words. That will be the last we see of her. Once that mode is done, and they're done with it, we will never see her again. They're going to magically have no games to play, nothing will be interesting, and that will be it, and Family Night sucked anyway. So there you go. We're not going to see her for that long. Only for Infinite Wealth, that's it. I guarantee you. I'm not even going to bet anything because I know I'll win. I know I'll win, man.
So it's kind of like we got all this stuff going on already. And now it's like, oh yeah, by the way, now we got a plan to have all this time away from work so I could film and I can do this and I got to travel to do this and that. And then on top,
Again, this is stuff you could have realized before he flew out. I'm just saying he could have just made that. He could have realized that a little bit earlier and saved Mike some time and money. But whatever, he gets what he pays for, right, man?
top of all of that, just so you guys know, there is one other factor that just happened this week, and
One
I'm not
other
going to tell you guys
factor?
about it right now. Maybe eventually I would bring it up, but I'm not going to right now. But there was another huge determining factor that just happened, and that was basically the straw that broke the camel's back, as they say. And I
What
was
is
like,
it?
I just can't do this.
What is
All
it?
right? So,
Oh,
just to make
yeah.
this official.
You know what? Theo theory time. Get your tinfoil ready. It's the cat stuff. It's the cat stuff. Telling you. The oh, this thing just happened. I'll talk about it later. It's gonna be he's gonna find out people make fun of Cat, and he's gonna tell us once they're done milking her. Guarantee that's what it's gonna be, man. Theo theory.
All right?
All right.
It is canceled. It's not, oh, it's delayed or whatever. The documentary is canceled. All right? Now, I'm not saying that I wouldn't do something like this again or consider doing it again in the future. I'm saying right now, this is not the time, the climate, or the level of stress to really be taking on a project like this. Okay?
Okay.
It's not.
Yeah, you're not
Definitely
built for
things
it.
could change, maybe, right? In the future, perhaps. If things get better, if you know, if the
Better?
stress level lowers, if my time frees up a little bit more, right? But basically, I'm in a situation. Here's the truth of the matter here is that this is a big gamble. Think of it this way. Let's say that I did this documentary, right?
Okay, right.
And it went really well. All of a sudden, there's a fair, balanced way to look at me, and all of a sudden, a bunch of new people are exposed to my content, and they come over to the channel, and our community grows, and it's better for the business and for everything. That could happen, right? It
Okay.
could. But the thing is, it could. It's not a guarantee.
Oh my god.
It could very well go the other
Dude,
way.
If he's trying to fish for guarantees, he's never gonna get anything done.
It could go the other way that I do this documentary, and again, some of these old
Oh my
things about
God.
my past that are not me anymore, but you're talking about, you know, things from my Street Fighter days, things from my early days of YouTube, shit that doesn't apply to me in 2024. but things that people are only just hearing about for the very first time. And now they become an emphasis for certain people. And now people, oh, that's that guy who did that 20 years ago, right? Or this or that. And that could be really bad for us all.
Dude. He's afraid that people are gonna say, wow, this guy is a piece of shit, and never give him a chance. Like, this dude has such little faith, he doesn't deserve it. Because again, how does he know for a fact that these people who may find him problematic won't even give him a chance? He just assumes that they won't. Ugh.
Right?
But it's probably because he doesn't give anyone a second chance. That's right. You know what? As everyone said, he projects a lot of his own of himself onto others because he doesn't give anyone another chance, except for unless they give him money. Then he can give him a chance. But since a video game cannot give him money, he never gives it a second chance.
It could put us in a worse light as a community. Not just me, but it could put us in a worse light as a community.
Dude, think about that. He is selling his community that people may see him and his community that they're a bunch of bad people. In my opinion, his community is pretty bad. It's one of the worst. I mean, for many reasons. Like, dude, I don't even remember. I can't tell you a stream that I went to where I saw a bunch of LARPers just all chilling out and doing weird shit. And then you have Canadian Kirk that says a lot of really racist shit that's just still there that just gets daily warnings. Like, this dude, man, is saying this stuff, but it's actually factually true that he has a lot of toxic people in his audience, man.
Together. And that is a risk that right now I'm not willing to take. That my sins of the past are somehow going to rub off on us in 2024 and make us all be treated like dirt, right? And there is also one other thing. All right? I feel like this documentary, because I told you guys this when I started talking about it a couple weeks ago. I said this documentary would be the one. And what I meant about that is that this would be the one thing I do. That if I did this documentary, this would be it. I'm not going to do a second documentary in 5 more years. I'm not going to do a ton more interviews and all this shit. This is it. This is the one big project, right? That's going to encompass all of me, my history, who I am yesterday, today, how I've evolved, and all of that, right? All together. And I'm not sure that we're at the point that we're ready for that yet.
This is such a cop-out, in my opinion. It's just him saying, like, oh, well, I'm still going to be streaming after the documentary's made, and it'll be outdated. Like that. Like, come on, dude, like, if it's meant to just show you as a community or a content creator or whatever the fuck, like, it doesn't really matter when you would work on it. Like, this dude is so full of himself. He's acting as if he's some landmarking fucking big-ass time director. Like, dude, it's like when you expect to see, like, a Stanley Kubrick documentary. It's like, yeah, that's gonna be interesting because he's a director that made a lot of good movies. Come on.
Like I've said, I'm 41 years old, but I'm not going anywhere. Unlike all these other YouTubers who all of a sudden have decided together that they want to not do YouTube anymore.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this. I am so fucking tired of these takes. Like, dude, who fucking cares about these people retiring? Like, dude, it's so lame. It's one thing if, like, you're doing a stream and you're just hanging out and someone asks, oh, what do you think of people retiring or whatever? Sure, you have your opinions on that, but there are people who are making videos talking about it. There are people who just bring up like this. Like, dude, move on. So what? Like, and I think it holds more water. Like, again, I think I mentioned it. Like, Rocco from Mega 64 talked about his opinion on people retiring, and I thought it was a little bit interesting. But again, he didn't delve on it because he probably fucking figured out. He figured it out, guys, that it's probably not worth time talking about because it's like, because he knows it could be misconstrued if it's because it may come off as like, oh, these people are just doing this for the money, and that may not be true. Like, you can't say that for a fact, but it's just that, like, look, he was mostly talking about his interpretation or his perspective. Like, look, I I like making these little skits and all this stuff. So that's why I'm still making videos. I can understand like some people just kind of came in and tried to like ride the algorithm and all this stuff, and then they make enough, and they may want to do something else, and they may not have the same passion for making stuff that I do, and all that kind of stuff. Like he kept it kind of like that, which is like a fine like outlook. But this dude uses it as a way to brag about his own standing in content creation, and it's like no one fucking talks like this unless they have some ulterior motive. But all these people who are just focusing on it, like, dude, these people are just retiring. Who fucking cares?
Can't take it anymore. The stress and all these years of doing it.
And then look at this. He brings up, oh, I can't take the stress and this and that. And he mocks them. This dude who talks so much about how he's so stressed and all this stuff is mocking other people for feeling stressed. You know, at least these other people have these other opinions aren't such a fucking bitch about it. Who are like, oh yeah, but I'm so stressed out. These other people are stressed out. They can't take it. What a bunch of babies. Like, dude, fuck off. Like, it's so lame to sit there and have some dumbass like him like talk down to other people for being stressed. Come on.
I gotta quit. No, you're quitting because you're rich. You're quitting because literally you're
How
filthy.
do you know that? Again, if people did that to him, he'd like, they're saying that I'm quitting because I'm rich. I'm not rich, stupid. Oh my god.
Rich. You hit the algorithm right. You got lucky. Then you rode the wave with your thumbnails and your clickbait titles, and you put out your content for 10 years or whatever. You got filthy rich doing it the way everyone does it, and now you're quitting because you don't need to work anymore. That's what's going on. I mean, it's a
I love he says this, but on the DSP Reacts he did, they mention there's a video where they're talking about it, and they're saying, well, really, these people are retiring. They're just retiring the kind of content they're used to, and they're going to be doing other kind of content and that kind of stuff. And DSP, I don't really think he had a reaction to that. He just was like, oh, okay, man. Oh, yeah. So he said something else that was really stupid. But that'll be a video for another day.
very simple explanation for why so many YouTubers are quitting. And it's not, oh, the YouTube exodus, people don't like working on YouTube. It's because these people are rich and don't have to work anymore, right? They already made it big. Now, you can judge for yourself whether or not these people have a level of passion for their work or not. Personally, for me, I've told you guys, if I hit the lotto today and I became a multi-millionaire and I didn't have to work a day in my life, I would still stream. Now, I wouldn't stream the capacity that I do now. I'm not going to stream 6 days a week full time. But I love this so much because I have passion for it.
Dude, it's such a lame thing. The reason why he'd still do it and not as much is because he can still get free money doing it. That's all it is. Like, why play? Like, this is where he's at. Why game for free when you can game and get paid? Because think about this. Think about this. Think about it. Think about it. I want to bring this up, and you know, I'm gonna bully Phil over this. He did a day off. He did a stream on his day off, playing Street Fighter 6 because he said there's nothing else to do. Cat wanted to play Starfield or some shit, and he didn't want to be spoiled. So instead of like being in his little room sleeping or whatever the fuck, he decided to play a video game and to stream because he can't just play a video game and not stream. Like, think about that. He says, oh, I can't game on my free time and blah blah blah. He gets free time and he has to stream to play a video game. Like, you can't play a video game and not stream. And he's sitting here telling you, oh, yeah, man, if I won the lotto, I'd still do this. Yeah, because you'll get free money. Stupid. Like, this dude is so lame.
I love what I do, and I love having interactions with you guys. I would keep doing it in some capacity, right? And there you go.
It's so funny this dude's saying, oh, these people would quit because they make a lot of money. But he knows he get more money if he still streams. Nah.
With YouTubers who, oh, well, now we're in a situation we don't have to work anymore. I quit. Well, I'm not like them. Because
but the thing is, those other people have to make the video. They have to like edit the video. They have to like, come up with an idea and all this other stuff. All DSP does is just sit around and waddle around. That's it. It's like the most non-effort stream. Like, his content is so basic. It's embarrassing.
I'm never going to make it big. I'm never going to become a multi-millionaire doing this, okay? I'm not going to. I'm too small time, and I'm too stuck in my own mindset of how to do stuff. I refuse to do all those things that all of them did to get rich. I don't do any of those things.
He does, though. He does a React video. He used to say that that when people did Reacts, they were taking a day off. And then he did the funny faces. You know what's even funnier, though? He had the DSP versus the internet thumbnails. They've all changed. They all removed the face. You don't have DSP's face on them anymore. Really funny, right? I wonder why.
Going to do those fucking things ever, okay? That's why I'm different, but that's also why I'm kind of
How is he different? He says he tailors his content to be less offensive, like everyone else, because of cancel culture, blah blah blah. He does face game because every streamer does it. He takes in tips and support and has leaderboards because other streams have it. He does all this stuff because other streamers. He doesn't play any different games. He played Sea of Stars because they went to the Game Awards and all this stuff. He does so many things because other people did it.
At this level likely for the rest of my life, right?
And he said this the day that he was playing Pal World, a game that was a meme game that he would use to brag about how he's not like other streamers and he's skipping that game. He decides to play it because everyone's playing it.
So if I'm going to do a documentary, I want to do it when I feel like it's time to tell my whole story. But I don't think my whole story's happened yet. I think my story is
How do you know when your whole story is finished, stupid?
still happening right now and will continue to happen and evolve positively. Right now, like I said, not only am I maintaining a gaming channel, but I got a React channel, and now I've got a throwback channel. And this is going to be a fun year of kind of doing stuff on those and juggling them around and having a good time with all of you. This is a great year for games. Like right now, we've got a bunch of great games coming out that I'm very happy to be playing and everything. So I'm not
Games come out every year, though. Whatever.
ready
Okay.
to say this is my story and here it is and I'm done with it now. Like I feel like maybe down the road, right? That's something to consider. But I don't think that now is the time at all. I feel like the right decision here is because there's nothing toxic and negative really going on right now, because we're all having a good time. We're about to start new releases. We're about to start this new year a very positive way, all this good stuff going on. And because of the feedback I've gotten direct feedback from family members, viewers, longtime fans, you know, writing me out of the blue, and everyone just tossing their opinion into the ring. And the consensus I'm getting right now is that it doesn't make sense. That's what I'm getting. That the consensus right now is, no, definitely don't think about this right now. You know, don't do it right now. Again, you know, maybe in the future or whatever. But basically, don't do it now because this is going to be a second side-scrollers. Now, here's the thing. I don't believe that. I don't believe that this documentary is going to be a second side-scrollers because this is not a hit piece on me, right? But at the same time, I'm totally understanding where people are coming from, where they're saying it's going to primarily be a lot of drama for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like tons of drama. And no one wants that level of drama. People just want me to be happy and to put out good content that they enjoy. And that's what my true fans who are supportive of me, who come by every day and support my content, no matter what it is I'm doing, what it is I'm playing, what project I'm working on, what channel I'm on, those people aren't seeking more drama, right? And this, no matter what, this documentary was going to cause drama. So,
okay, if it was gonna cause drama, right? Let's say he does that the last day of his career. Like, he's not gonna do any more videos or any streams or whatever the fuck. He's 90 years old and he's about to die. It's not gonna cause drama to make a documentary and people make fun of you anyway? Okay.
I think this is the right decision for now.
Whatever.
And again, maybe in the future, I would change my mind, but for right now, it is canceled. It's not postponed. It's not on the back burner. It's canceled. I'm not doing it. All right? But maybe that would change in a while, depending on the climate, depending on how things look, right?
Whatever.
Who knows how things change over time? Who would have thought?
But the thing is, the reason why he wants to keep it open is because this guy cannot do a harsh, like, close. He has to say no, not right now, or anything. Like the interview series, he can't just say I don't want to do it and it's canceled. He has to say, well, maybe someday, maybe tomorrow, maybe this, because he doesn't want to say no. He is incapable of saying no when there's potential money on the table.
Today I'd be doing this. Like, what, 5-6 years ago, I never would have thought that I'd be doing what I'm doing today. And then 5 years before that, I probably wouldn't have thought I would have been in that situation. You know, my life changes a lot. So that's my feeling on it. All right. And by the way, yeah, the schedule's not updated. I didn't update it. I'll have to update it.
Okay, we're just gonna skip ahead.
I want to say, first of all, thank you to everyone who gave me feedback. I appreciate your honest feedback. Thank you very much to those who actually stepped up and were going to help with this project. Because like I said, I was talking with a few people about being a part of the project on the positive side of things. And they were very willing to help, even at great personal risk of being harassed as
great personal risk,
because they were going to participate in this.
Oh,
I also want to thank Mike Klum. I want you guys to understand something. Mike has been absolutely, positively nothing but professional at all in this whole situation. He's been 100% professional. This decision has nothing to do with him whatsoever. Zero. This is my personal decision based on my life situation and my things going on.
So
nothing to do with him.
Rich says, look at the trolls, man. But DSP made the decision.
He's been completely
He's
accommodating.
being a big boy about it.
100%. He's listened to every concern I ever had. And this was going to be something that was going to be safe, right? This is not going to be a team storms into my house with cameras, starts filming, and just slaps it all over the internet. And now next thing you know, everyone's harassing me and my family because all my shit's on the internet. That's not what this is going to be. I want everyone to understand that.
Well, yeah, no shit. Like, no one would do
and
that. Come on.
Hopefully, he'll be able to make quality stuff. From what I understand, he is working on other stuff that's going to be good. I wish him the best in the future. But it's just not for me right now. I know for me and my family as well, because again, it's not just me. It's not for me. It's not for my family, and it's not for my community right now. All right? It's just not the right time. Fair enough?
Nice water noises.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
That's the announcement.
Yes.
So I'm sure you guys are all going to have questions. Just to warn you all, if it's personal questions and shit, I'm not going to answer it. All right? But if you guys have general questions about the situation, I'm willing to talk about it. So let's get into that. Well, August did a $10 tip and said, "Oh, the documentary is going to be great. I'm looking forward to it." Well, oops.
Wow, so funny, August. You're hilarious, man. You should really go to SNL.
Sorry about that, August, because the documentary is not happening. Okay?
That's probably why you said that.
And by the way,
I
don't think the animation just worked. And I'm wondering,
okay, I don't care about that.
from everything working to nothing working. So
okay.
Okay, now it should work. Let me fix this.
Okay, we're still doing this. We're still doing this. Oh my god.
Your enthusiasm for it, and you're trusting me that it would have been good if it did happen. Okay. I got a $5 tip. Also from August, who says, "Well, now I'm disappointed." Well, I'm sorry, August.
Oh my god. August can go away.
All right, continuing on. I got a $2.25 tip. Ass Man did a tip, and basically, I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to read what he said because there's no point in reading the whole thing. It doesn't matter what I do. My trolls say it's a negative. If I went forward with the documentary, well, that's a negative. Well, if I cancel the documentary, that's a negative. If I have input in the documentary, that's a negative. If I have no input in a documentary, that's also a negative. It doesn't matter if I fart or breathe.
He doesn't understand the nuance of, like, why people might think his involvement in the documentary might be bad, but whatever. We're not gonna.
Or whatever I do, it's a negative. I don't give two shits
okay.
what trolls say. And the fact that you care about what the trolls say means that you need to also reassess who you are and what you think about. Because in life, if you give two shits about what a hater says, you're just wasting your time. Like, this is not legit criticism. It's just nonsensical shit that they say, you know?
Yeah,
so I don't care if they're happy or upset that I am or not doing a documentary. They can get fucked.
Get fucked. Are we gonna get get fucked?
Excuse me.
For some reason, I always expect a wet fuck
Oh.
from Pierre.
Slurpee,
I'm gonna,
Slurpee
like,
tipped
lower my
$2.
guard, and then all of a sudden
I'm gonna
you're-
read what Slurpee said, but this is, I don't know too much about this one. You ready for this? Good idea to cancel. Seattle has one of the highest human trafficking rates in the nation. I always felt the documentary was a gateway to a dark underworld you don't want to be involved in.
What?
That's a new one. I never thought of this documentary about Darkside Phil as a gateway into human trafficking. But maybe I should have considered that in my decision too. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for the $2 tip. Don't know what the hell you're talking about, but okay there.
Yeah,
Wow.
mock him,
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
I think Slurpee was following a different documentary is what it was. I'm pretty sure Slurpee was not actually paying attention to anything.
Slurpee, you ruined this. Come on.
Oh, my nose.
Oh, my nose. Ah.
I received a super chat from Fabricio. Okay, thank you, Fabricio, for a $2 super
Why do
chat.
you read it like that?
Let's get that on the leaderboard. You're actually the first super chatter of the
You sound
Yeah,
terrified.
I think I've shouted everything. I think so. Here. Perhaps I'll never ever do anything like this. Flowers or whatever for doing content.
Wait, what?
Swan song. Like, right? Like, I think like this documentary is supposed to be like the Swan song. Like, you know, giving someone their flowers or whatever.
Oh my god, dude, where did he learn they give someone their flowers shit from? Oh my god, he said that about fucking Street Fighter. I didn't understand it then. I don't understand it now. Maybe I'm too stupid. Give them your flowers, man. Oh my god, dude. He says shit like that, but he doesn't know the implication of him saying pop their membership may sound like to someone. Like, fucking, come on.
For doing content, and here's your history, the good and bad. But I'm in the midst of me doing it. I'm not quitting. I'm not retiring. This is not a, you know, nothing's go crazy is going on in that regard. So this is probably not the time to start causing drama around this documentary, right? And again, I've got a lot of shit going on in my life already.
Like what?
Where I'm already stressed out and I got anxiety about shit. It's
they-
like, do I really need to be doing this at the same time? It's probably a very bad idea, right?
Right. Yeah, like those
Go
other
ahead.
rich
And so
people.
I don't want to
Oh
have
my God.
anything to do with that. So there you go.
Dude,
Okay.
literally, I didn't even know that was in the video. This is the first time watching Hate Army's like fucking upload. Dude. Just suddenly out of nowhere, I just hear massive, constant get fucked. Oh my god. I'm telling you, I'd never expect it.
Okay.
Okay.
What's this?
I'm terrified. Now I'm on edge.
So here we go again. Pimple
Here we
shits
go
with a tip
again.
talking about detractors. I already said I don't give two fucks what any of them say. And I don't give a fuck about anyone's opinion but my direct fans. And that's who I listen to. And that's one of the major reasons why I made this decision. Is because the overwhelming amount of feedback I was getting from my community was not to do this. That, listen, things have died down. No one cares about side scrollers anymore. Fucking stupid lolcow podcast. No one's paying attention to that anymore. This is great now that we're at a period where now we can focus on all these great new games that are going to be coming out. You got other efforts going on with the Throwback channel. Your wife is back in your content, which is super awesome and positive.
Super awesome.
Why now am I going to risk all of that? That's the feedback I got from many.
That's the feedback I got. Huh? Alright, I'm back. Sorry everyone, had to do a little trip. Not trip, I lied. I had to recharge the headphones. It was losing power, and I couldn't let it lose more power, you know what I mean?
Many of you.
I
You
got
understand
water
that.
too,
My
so.
longtime fans, my
I would.
supporters, reached out to me behind the scenes, and this is the feedback I got, and that's why I made this decision. Okay? No, I understand, because there's a lot of people out there who casually watch me, and they wanted drama. Like, oh, crap. The drama around Darkside
What?
Phil has died down now.
Oh
So
my
now
God.
this is great that Phil's doing this.
Dude, I leave and I come back to this.
No, I understand, because there's a lot of people out there who casually watch me, and they wanted drama. Like, oh, crap. The drama around Darkside Phil has died down now. So now this is great that Phil's doing this
Dude,
documentary, because
there's
now the drama
no such thing as drama dying down. Shut up.
will be back. Well, I don't care
Stupid.
about you. Okay, let me make that abundantly clear, okay? You ready?
He literally just said, by the way, that this documentary was gonna please the I was gonna say traitors, the haters and the fans, but he doesn't care about the haters. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make a public statement to everyone here. You ready? Not even this question. That's the wrong one, okay? If you watch me for drama, I don't care about you in the least.
What if you could change their mind and they love you now? What about that? Give them a second chance.
You are not my concern on this planet. At all.
What? So he has concern for his fans. I mean, whatever. Okay.
In any way, shape, or form. There's not a single moment in my life, there's not a breath I take that I think about you or care about your opinion. If all you care about is drama, when it comes to Darkside Phil, DSP, or Phil Burnell, I don't give two shits about you.
Okay.
And I'm happy
Okay.
for you, and I hope you have a great life.
Okay.
Leave me the fuck alone.
No. Stupid. My life sucks. So, I guess I'm gonna be, talking about you forever.
I don't care about your opinion. Okay.
Okay.
Had to make that as clear as possible, because some people just don't get it. All right.
If that's the case, then why does he, like, care so much about how we think about what he does then, huh? Whatever.
Okay, shout-outs.
Hey,
Let's keep going.
shout-outs. Alright, let's move on ahead. The Q&A is so bad.
Sir Ed Sheeran did a $5 tip.
Oh my god.
And this is what I'm not
Fucking
going to
guy.
talk about, because this is what I'm saying. Like, people are now going to start asking. So, what was actually the terms of the documentary? What exactly was going to happen in the documentary with each scene? But were you going to make money doing the documentary? And what about this? And what about that? And that's none of your business.
None of your
And
business.
especially because the documentary's not even happening. It's definitely none of anyone's business, because it's not even happening anyway. So none of it happened, so it doesn't matter. All right, so
if it doesn't matter, then he could tell us then, right? Correct?
anything like that,
Okay.
you're never going to get an answer out of me, because it's none of anyone's business and I'm not talking about it. But thank you for the tip.
Makes no sense, but okay.
Dan the Man has tipped me $10. Thank you to Dan the Man.
the Man. Let's skip a little bit. It takes forever to get to the question. What's he doing? Okay.
All the legitimate feedback I needed from my viewer base. But now you've got people like Meatball Man in the chat saying,
Oh, shouts out Meatball Man. Meatball Man, like, man.
you had a chance to work with a professional documentarian who would have actually shown your side fairly, and you squandered it. Damn, man. Meatball Man, we all know who you.
I like how he got mad about this, and I think Tevin also mentioned that Meatball Man kind of regurgitated DSP's own take. But the thing is that he's getting worked up on a subjective statement. Like Meatball Man just said he was gonna give your side fairly. Damn, that's it. He didn't say, Phil, you're a fucking idiot. You should have done it, and now your life is ruined or anything like that. He just said, man, he was gonna give you a fair chance and you squandered it. Like, it is a subjective opinion that he had an opportunity and he squandered it. Because again, he did all of this work. He talked to Mike in person to then just say, oh my god, I know this bothered me. To then just say, I don't want to do it. Like, that is kind of squandering an opportunity. And what's to say that Mike Michael is gonna still be interested in this stupid ass documentary like 10 years from now? Like, who's to say, right? Like, this dude fails so much at taking advantage of opportunities. He gets an opportunity and he just fucking, like, leaves it out on the floor. And then he then down the line tries to pick it up and it's all moldy and, like, disgusting and gross. And he still eats it. Because he thinks now is the time.
Are. All right? We know who you are.
And this is a cool segment that he tells the person that I don't even know who this guy is, that he knows who he is. Okay.
We know what part of a community you're part of, and we know why you were hoping this documentary would happen. Drama.
So
You're not
why don't you
fooling
ban
anyone.
him?
Right? That's why you want.
Had it had tuned still work with a professional documentarian who would have actually on your side, squandered. Okay, he
To
did
see
read.
it.
He
You
did
don't want to
read.
see my side be portrayed fairly. You want drama so you can revel in it and enjoy it and laugh at it. That's the reason you're in chat every day. See?
I love he says he's been in chat every day. My guy, you have literal fans in your chat every stream, every day. You even have a cuck giving you money every day at a determined time. Like this little like segment every time he mocks a troll for being in his chat every day is literally one-upped by 1 Minute Man by coming every day and giving him money at a certain time. So I'm sorry, when DSP or 1 Minute Man tries to dunk on the trolls, 1 Minute Man is the king of cucks. Literally just wakes up every day and he has to time his tip correctly to give Phil his money.
But I love it because people like him act like they're so, oh yeah, I see I'm a fan and I'm disappointed. You're not a fan. You never were. I just tolerate your existence because I get tired of banning your 14th fucking...
No, he just likes money. It's a free renew. He renews all the time, probably. I'd assume. It's hard to tell now. You probably give him a few super chats or whatever, sometimes maybe. And DSP just likes to milk him until he's done with them. That's the story of most, like, who was it? I think there's only one dude that's in this chat right now, like, Demon in the Corner. Demon in the Corner is probably the only one that's, like, worthwhile that hangs around. But usually, like, Snow Carl starts off like, oh yeah, he gets rants, to then just becoming a cuck. And that's the usual path that some of these people take. You know what I mean?
clone account here, you know? I'm not going to sit here and have a personal dedicated assistant to ban you from chat every time I
That's why you have mods, Phil. What about your mods?
see your 14, 15 sock pop up. Holy shit.
What about your mods? Don't your mods help out? Guess not.
Okay.
His mods must be sleeping at the wheel, as always. Letting the drama into the pig pen.
I received... Oh, I'm ignoring all this because people are tipping $1 just to talk about trolls. I told you guys I'm not
gonna talk about trolls.
You've wasted your time. This is funny. Someone tipped $2 and said, when the Lolcow podcast inevitably fails because it's going to...
Dude. All the people give him $1 to say troll shit. Waste of time, stupid. Guy gives him $2. The Lolcow podcast is dumb. I gotta read this. This is so funny. Okay.
I guess already it's on that way. I wouldn't know. I haven't watched it once.
It's already on the way to fail. I don't know. I haven't watched it. How do you know then? Whatever.
Not going to. You know, I'm not involved in that kind of shit. I should consider doing a podcast with Wings of Redemption because we both have passion for games and it would be a good show. You do realize that could never happen.
Why?
Wings is literally attached himself to Keemstar.
He's afraid to touch Wings now because Keemstar might find out because Keemstar's there. Where Wings goes, Keem is there apparently. Man,
He cannot now do anything without that man. So as long as he
how does he know
is
that?
completely beholden and a slave.
Oh my God, I thought that was me. How does he know that he's beholden to Keem? Whatever. Okay.
To Keemstar, I will have absolutely positively nothing whatsoever to do with him. Okay?
Whatever.
It's that simple. So.
Yeah, he's scared of Keem getting involved. That's what he's afraid of. Like, Keem is DSP repellent. If you don't want DSP to deal with you, either take the LTG route and just fucking say no and call him a bitch. And there you go. Or you just hang out with Keem, and DSP will never hang out with you.
It looks like chat froze for me. Hold on.
Okay, chat is
I have
frozen.
received
I have received
a $20 tip from one.
Oh, the bitch himself. What does he
Whoops.
have to say? He's gonna say, Phil, you were so cool saying no to the documentary.
There we go.
You're awesome. I can't wait for you to play Baldur's Gate 3.
So,
I love you,
Gunner
Phil.
Glasses and
Phil
1 Minute Man. Thank you so much,
Cornelio.
1 Minute Man. Biggest tip of the day so far. Says, Phil, you already have peak exposure on YouTube. After 15 years, sadly, the YouTube audience formed an opinion on you. The documentary isn't going to change anything.
Oh my god, 1 Minute Man, shut up. The YouTube audience already formed an opinion, unfortunately. Unfortunately, people have opinions. 1 Minute Man, just shut up. DSP is married.
You seem to be doing well now. Just don't screw it up.
Oh my god, he's doing well now. Oh
I would
yeah.
prefer Baldur's Gate 3 over today's game. Of course you would.
Of course he
Listen, 1 Minute Man, we all know that you love Baldur's
1
Gate
Minute Man,
3.
we know you're a fucking bitch.
And again, even though I'm going to be playing Tekken 8 and Like a Dragon a lot, I'm going to keep Baldur's Gate 3 in the rotation. Now, for the first...
This dude hyped up putting that game on hiatus because of Tekken 8 and Infinite Wealth. And now he's playing it anyway. Pretty cool, huh?
week, it definitely will not be a daytime stream. I'll probably squeeze it in maybe a couple night streams later on next week, okay? After that, what we need to do is pay attention and see what actually happens. Because I'm going to be honest, I think that Tekken will get a little bit more attention, but I don't think that Like a Dragon will maintain daytime stream attention after a few streams. I think what'll happen is it's
How does he know
its
that?
interest
You
will...
know what's ridiculous? I think like the daytime streams we did, Like a Dragon, the 7, whatever, it did really good on the day stream. And then he forced it to be a night stream, and it never did well after that. Like, the support immediately fell the second it went to the night stream. But okay.
wane after a few streams. And so what might happen is I do Like a Dragon a ton on night streams, and then maybe daytime streams a lot of Tekken alternated with some Baldur's Gate, and we play it by ear and we see whatever happens, okay? Also, I don't know what's going to happen with this Pal World game. I don't know anything about it, right? So I guess we're going to see what happens with Pal World.
You know what? You know my take.
Is it good? Is
sucks.
it not? Is it something that I want to keep in a
lame game.
rotation? Is it this thing I just mess around
On
today and I
many
never
levels.
touch it ever again? Right? Like, I have no idea. So...
It's gonna be.
I guess we'll see.
It
and
may become a game.
we'll go from
that
there. But
triggers me like
Baldur's Gate 3 will
Hogwarts,
stay going.
maybe.
That's a game that I've now invested like 55
that's what's
hours in.
gonna
I'm not just
happen
going to drop
that
that
day.
playthrough. That would be pretty
Yeah.
crazy, right? Okay.
Like Divinity, right?
Thank you, Parasolo, for re-upping your membership for 32 months. And he says, your detractors are a wild bunch. I have the craziest detractors on the planet.
DSB really wishes he had detractors that were really crazy, because man, his detract all we do is just make videos saying he's a dumbass. That's it. There are way worse people out there that do way worse shit. As I said, this dude deserves to get false copyright strikes all the time. He deserves it because he really wants to have crazy detractors, and he deserves it. He deserves that.
I mean that too.
I agree.
I have the absolute most insane people on this planet, you know, stalking me and doing this stuff, quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
I don't believe that there's anyone else that has that level of craziness. All right? I just don't.
Dude, literally, Chris Chan had worse trolls than you. Just factually. Like, Christian had a troll, like, shove their fucking Sonic 2 medallion up their ass. Think about that.
It's funny because people act like it. Oh, well, LTG has big haters, and Wings has big haters, and
Big
Boogie has big
haters.
haters. No.
Does he know what their haters do? I like how he says, "Oh, these people have big haters," and this that. But does he know what their haters do? Because he keeps claiming that he doesn't pay attention. But I also want to like bring up when he thought that he was gonna get trolled by Wings 007. DSP was petrified. He was on his stream like, what? Don't make fun of me. You don't want me to go away, right, guys? You don't want me to go away. They have no one to make fun of. Don't get rid of me. You know, like, you know what's going to happen if you get rid of me, right? You have no one to make fun of. Okay? He was, like, terrified. He was rocking back and forth. He was, like, pleading for his life. He was terrified of that happening. And now he's like, yeah, man, I have the worst trolls. They're way more fucked up. My guy, do you want actual fucked up people to go after you? I mean, come on. This dude, like, wants to brag that he has the worst trolls. But that may not even be true. He's talking about how all these other people might have big trolls, but they don't. How does he know? Yet, when he had a Wings troll, like, teasing the idea of going after Phil, DSP was fucking scared for his life. He was ready to, like, go on his hands and knees and beg the dude to go away. Like, unreal.
The difference is that I don't entertain the loud cow bullshit. I don't buy into it. So because of that, they get incensed and they just create their own circle jerking community.
Look how much he fantasizes about his trolls. This is fantasizing. He's like having a romantic feeling that, oh, these trolls, they're thinking so much about me. They even form communities to shit on me. Oh man.
Of shit. You know, based off of today's video, this podcast, there will be no less than 100 separate videos made about this.
Dude, people have been making videos about him about anything. Shut up.
100 separate videos made about this.
Again, if he had an ounce of what Wings had to deal with, or Chris Chan, or whatever the fuck, he would just fucking, like, cry. He'd cry. Because all he's getting from trolls is just videos being made about him. And that's it. Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So there you go.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, man.
All right. So I'm just going to keep, again, idiots coming in with trying to get me to say stuff I'm not going to talk about here.
Get him out. Get him out of here.
Well, here's a dollar tip from Sarah. And this is Sarah's opinion.
God, Sarah.
All right. Sarah says,
God.
if Mike Klum really was going to be unbiased and fair with this documentary, why'd he break the news on Kiwi Farms? Then only do promo interviews with your haters and detractors that want to ruin your life. I'm really glad the documentary...
What promo interviews did he fucking do? With Rich? I mean, is Rich a detractor for Phil? No. Rich is DSP's bitch. So, I mean, come on.
Is canceled, I felt like it would have hurt the community. Now, just to be clear about this, okay?
Just to be clear.
That is not true. Because
That's
as I
not true?
told you, I was working behind the scenes with people from my side, positive people that Mike was going to be involved with, but that wasn't going to be done publicly. Do you understand?
The dude mentioned that Mike Klum was talking to trolls, which he was. He went to Kiwi Farms, all this stuff, and he's like, well, I didn't talk to the trolls, man. What?
Like, we weren't going to come out in public and say, hey, fans of Phil, come get an interview with Mike Klum. That wasn't going to happen. It was going to be me working with people behind the scenes who were willing to do that, because that was going to be...
You know, honestly, I think DSP was terrified that... There's an Apex stream. I love this Apex stream he did years ago. It's a great one. If you can find it, hey, man, it's a little treat. He had a fan on mic that literally you could tell. You could tell in DSP's like face he wanted to make fun of him, but he couldn't because the dude was a fan or could be a fan, and he was just like he was completely silent. It got real awkward real fast, and the guy was like kept talking. And it's like, this is your fans, DSP.
personal risk for them. You understand?
You understand?
You know, people who have had positive association, positive experiences with me over the years. That's who was going to be involved from my side. Yes, family members were going to be involved. Yes, longtime fans, friends, people like that were going to be in this. Okay? So that was happening. Okay. But Mike went out there and did the public side of stuff for the negative side, and that's all that you heard about. Again, here's the thing. Why did you only hear the negative? Because those are the people who were the echo chamber on YouTube.
What?
Those are the people.
But why couldn't you reach the trolls, like, behind the scenes? They have emails. Everyone, like, can be contacted. Whatever.
Who literally are 90% of YouTube today. Toxic idiots. That's what the sites become a cesspool of. Drama queens, fucking fake TMZ reporters, gossip girls. That's what they are. They're gossip girls. Fucking idiots.
Oh
and
my
people
God,
watch
gossip
that
girls.
shit because they're dumb.
Why
so
are
that's
being
what
sexist?
you heard. You heard Mike Klum posted on Kiwi Farms. Mike Klum talked to review
dude, people are just saying, look, he posted on Kiwi Farms, and he's like, this is TMZ bullshit. Dude, it actually happened. He literally went to Kiwi Farms, stupid.
USA. In the meantime, the positive stuff was happening, but you're not going to hear about that. All you're going to hear is the toxic negative shit.
Oh
You get
my
it?
God.
That's what they want, though, because that's how they make their content. When you have no talent,
This literally makes no sense. Their dude just said, "Hey, Mike Lum was doing like all this stuff with the trolls. Phil, what about that?" And he's like, "Well, TMC bullshit, dude. Like, what does trolls making videos have to do with Mike Lum talking to trolls? What?
benefit from every level of gossip and negativity.
Whatever. Okay.
Okay, let's continue here. But thank you for the dollar, Sarah. And here's the thing, Sarah. I totally hear your concern, and I understand it.
Do you though? You had a hard time reading it.
JDTV says that why did I announce the documentary at all?
I did.
Well, quite frankly, because it kind of already got out there. When Mike
how did it get out there?
started talking to people on the internet about it, immediately it got out.
So Mike Lum talked to people on the internet about it. Where did he talk about it, Phil? Where did he talk about the documentary? What website did he go on the internet? This is like TMZ bullshit. He's not even naming the website he went to.
Out there, and it was like days of people already hounding me about it. Quite honestly, I don't think I was ready to really talk about it yet, because we hadn't done any work on it yet.
Again, he wasn't ready to talk about it. But then he tells us that he was talking behind the scenes with other people. See how nothing makes sense? He talks to people behind the scenes, but he wasn't ready to talk about it because there's no work that had to be done. So Mike Lum talked to the trolls, and he wants you to think that he was talking to the trolls when he was talking to the fans, but it only got announced because he talked to the trolls first. It makes no sense. And then he brings up, oh my god, I'm losing the sauce here. Oh my god. Let's rewind a little bit.
Immediately, it got out there, and it was like days of people already hounding me about it. Quite honestly,
yeah. If he wasn't ready to talk about it, why didn't he talk to Mike about when to announce it? Again, he didn't say anything, so Michael had no reason to hide it. Come on.
Like I was ready to really talk about it yet, because we hadn't done any work on it yet. We hadn't said.
I just love he keeps putting himself in a position where things will just get leaked because he doesn't talk to anyone. He doesn't talk to Mike Lum when to announce it or anything, so he's always blindsided by when people know about something.
We hadn't written out any particular scenes. We hadn't filmed anything. I wasn't really ready to talk about it, but the moment that Mike went out,
this is a documentary. What scenes do you need to write out? Whatever.
To try to get
the
that side of it, boom, it just hit the internet, crazy viral nonsense. So it just kind of happened that way. I don't think it was intended to be that way. If you haven't noticed, I haven't even really talked that much about it because I told you guys I wasn't really ready yet. We're in development stages of ideas of things we wanted to do with this documentary that would have worked and been entertaining for everyone, not just my side, not just the hater side, but everyone, even newcomers who don't know who I am would have liked it.
Why did it get canceled?
But it just kind of blew up the way it did because of the way
really, honestly, if you really analyze and think about the reasons why it canceled it, it's kind of nothing statements. Stuff is happening. I'm running channels. Trolls were born. I don't know. Like, these are all nothing statements. So like, what was the point? Like, this dude is like, well, man, it's not happening now. Yeah, why? Why isn't it happening? The reasons you state aren't really compelling reasons.
Toxic YouTube, and it is,
Like, he's talking as if it was out of his control. Like, his boss said no. Or something. The investors said, we are not funding this. Okay.
Oh, let's see here.
Jasper said no. Jasper told him to
Ass Man, Timmy, $3.33 says, why would you sign off on a documentary if you thought it might hurt you in the future? You should just do your own. Again, the documentary didn't happen.
Oh my god, dude.
I didn't sign off.
This is so stupid. He's being so stupid about this. I didn't sign off on anything. That doesn't mean you didn't want it to happen. Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying?
At this point, he should have said, because DS's playing semantics. Because what the dude was really asking was, why did you bother discussing it if you were afraid of the future or whatever the fuck? Oh, why did you talk to Mike? Why did he have to fly in to talk to him if you're just gonna cancel it because you're afraid of the future?
What are you talking about? I didn't sign off. The documentary doesn't exist. I don't know what you mean. You guys are acting like there's a giant, legal contract agreement and we did all this work and everything and now it's done. That didn't even happen. I don't even know what you're saying.
He just told us that there was so much work that was going on. Oh, I did so much work.
What I mean, like...
Now he's saying there was no work. Huh?
We're in the initial stages of planning this thing out, right? We didn't even schedule filming times yet. As I told you, you guys would know when we scheduled filming times because it was going to affect these streams. So I was going to tell you when that was going to happen. That didn't even happen yet, right? Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Initially, they're going to be surprised, but I understand your points.
Oh my god.
Play Cool tipped $1. He says, any true fan of yours and a logical human being will look to your announcement. Initially, they're going to be surprised, but I understand your points.
What were the points? Think about it. Think about the points he's telling you. He's stressed out. He has stuff going on behind the scenes. What the fuck does that mean? Again, he had stuff going on behind the scenes. Yet why did he waste Mike's time about it? Because he had stuff happening behind the scenes in December. He had stuff happening behind the scenes in November. He had stuff happening behind the scenes every day of the fucking week. And he's like, yeah, man, I just had stuff behind the scenes that told me not to. Like, dude, you're such a busy fucking person. Why did you, like, fucking agree to it? And then then he tells us, oh, this is, like, the stuff you do at the end. Okay.
We wish you the best, and we understand why it's canceled. It seems the best thing to do for the current status quo.
This dude loves to sound like a fucking creative person that creates actual something. And they use fancy words like projects, canceled. Oh, the project is canceled. All this stuff. He just wants to be that so bad.
In the documentary for what it would be and the positive effect that it would have in bringing new people in. Outside of that, I just don't care. Drama is pitiful content for pitiful minds. I'm glad you avoid it like the plague that it is. Cheers and have a great stream. Thank you.
Dude, I love the fact he didn't consider the documentary drama at all, and all of the stuff people are saying about it is that it was drama, and he's like, yeah, man, thank you. I get it. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, and I think generally with any kind of a project, right? You hope that it's going to be one thing. But then you basically have to read the room, right? And when it's announced that there's going to be a Dark Side Phil documentary and you read the room and 90% of the people in the room are being insanely toxic, over-the-top losers about it, then maybe it doesn't make sense right now, right? If there was genuine, if I felt like...
Dude, Loki, this kind of sounds like he canceled it because he was getting nervous that the trolls went from like, no, to... Yeah, fuck this. Let's see what's gonna happen. It's gonna be something stupid or whatever the fuck. Like, when the trolls kind of like, opinion just kind of faded away, he was like, oh fuck. Something's wrong here.
In general, there was this peaked genuine interest in learning about me and what my life is really like and who I really am and what everything is the truth of the matter when it comes to Dark Side Phil, right?
Right?
Then probably it wouldn't be as stressful or whatever, but... when I look at it and you see people who are literally foaming at the mouth for any little tidbit that they can get out of this thing.
Dude, technically, wouldn't your fans want to know more about you too? And wouldn't they be foaming at the mouth? What? I love that this behavior of, like, people getting really into, like, DSP's personal life or whatever the fuck is only exclusive to trolls. Because apparently, if you're, like... with that logic, any fan that gets really personal with the person they're a fan of, they must be trolls then, right? No. You don't know.
Then they can use it to harass me and my family. You know what I'm saying?
Again, he's been saying that people are dying and foaming at the mouth to know personal stuff for fucking years. Years of saying this. My club comes up to him with a documentary idea, and he's like, yeah, man, let's do it, man. Yeah, man. But you fucking know about these trolls, supposedly. You can't sit there and say this is a new revelation for you when it's been a revelation for fucking years, stupid.
Like, that's the feeling I get out of it. And it's like, well, obviously.
And as I said, when Cat gets written off the stream, he cannot blame the trolls. He can't.
That's not my intention. Why would I want to do a documentary that's just gonna feed more into the toxicity and drama of people that don't like me?
But
right? I'm not saying
then why did you want to do the documentary if that was the concern, stupid?
that it won't be addressed. I'm not saying that those people wouldn't be a part of it. They should be, because people need to see the shit that I go through on a daily basis, right? At this very moment, there's people restreaming this. At this very moment, there's people making videos and posting them on the internet of what I'm saying right now, and that's insane. That's literally insane. I'm a tiny, small-time streamer.
Oh my god, a tiny, small-time streamer. You know that a lot of people do a lot of videos to, like, actual, normal civilians? And it may even be worse for kids, like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes people, like, cyberbully people by making YouTube videos. Like, there are people who bully kids, they make a YouTube video making fun of them, and all this other shit. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. DSP, shut up.
Nothing. Yet somehow I've become important to so many people on the internet for weird reasons. And it's really bizarre, because all I want to do is sit here and play games and chill with you guys, but instead I have to have
Again, if that's the case, if that was the case, he just wanted to sit there and play fucking video games, why the fuck were you humoring a documentary? Why are you doing other stuff that prevents it, stupid?
insane toxic echo chamber for everything I do. I just don't get it. How did we get here, and what is wrong with these fucking people that they can't move on, right? But that's the thing, like, if I'm going to truly make an objective project, it has to be something that everyone wants. And personally, would I like to see an objective documentary eventually be made? Yes, I would. Today, no. I can't do it today. I know that now. But eventually, I would like to see something like that down the road.
Dude, it
But
is so
when
funny.
my entire
The upside down Big Phil makes it look like he's talking in front of a mountain. Like, I know there's like hidden mountains in the background. Like, I think he green screened those in or whatever the fuck. But having the Big Phil kind of like unifies it into like into a mountain or whatever.
entire major fan base is telling me, don't do this. This is not a good idea. Everything in your life
I'm
right
afraid
now
to
is
ask
going
what
better.
it is.
There's no drama around you. Just forget this and move on and do what
I'm
you do.
just assuming it's like Elden Ring or some FromSoft shit.
I'm going to listen. So now I'm listening. Okay?
He's listening now.
There you go.
Even though he said he listens to his fans every day.
Let's see here. So Token, thank you for the membership notification there. Dan the Man gifted a membership and it went to Crispy. So thank you, Dan.
God.
And then Dan also did a super chat. So thank you, Dan, for that support. So Dan would have been the latest super chatter here.
And now we're gonna move forward. Wasting time. Just sit in silence.
Spawn Killer, thank you for a tip. Now here's the thing. Basically, and if this sadly, I think
Oh
is
my
a
God.
symptom of
Sadly.
the toxic treatment that I have received from the internet. Because here's,
Oh,
I'm
no.
not even kidding you. Spawn Killer just tipped and asked this question. And multiple people are super chatting and asking the same question. So this is actually Shiv as well, okay?
Okay.
Shiv did a super chat, and at the same time, Spawn Killer tipped and asked the same question. Okay?
Okay.
So, what I want to do
Oh my God.
is I want to address it.
Then
Alright? I think I
then
should address it.
Oh my God. This dude is like, okay, this guy asked a question. I think I'm going to answer the question. I'm gonna answer the question. I'm gonna like explain my thoughts. I'm gonna respond to the question. Holy shit, dude! He's gonna say it again. He's gonna say it again. Say it again.
Basically, from what... Okay, here's what people are asking. In
Oh
a
my
nutshell, I'll
God,
paraphrase it
dude.
because everyone said it a little differently. Well, don't you think that Mike now is just going to do a documentary without you? That he's just going to take all the toxic and negative stuff about you and he's going to compile it into a documentary of his own so that he can still have a project out
Oh
of
my
it.
God, he talks
Okay?
so slow.
First of all, I really think you all grossly overestimate the amount of work that has gone into this shit.
One
Nothing
word
has been
per,
filmed. Nothing.
like, hour.
Nothing at all has been
Oh my God. Dude.
that he's just going to take all the toxic and negative stuff about you and he's going to compile it into a documentary of his own so that he can still have a project out of
Oh
this.
my God.
Okay? First of all, I really think you all grossly overestimate the amount of work that has gone into this yet. Nothing has been filmed. Nothing. Nothing
Okay.
at all has been filmed. There's no,
Why are
you
talking
know what I'm
about
saying?
You're fucking
Like,
terrified
I think people
then.
are under the impression that Mike Klum was flying around the world for 2 months,
Oh my God, dude. This...
filming everywhere and doing.
Okay, we're just gonna skip ahead.
So,
Holy shit.
you know, people are just wild again with their crazy speculations. That's number one. Okay.
I was debating also including the clip where DSP was like low-key threatening Mike Klum to shut up and all this stuff. But the thing is, Mike Klum could do a documentary without DSP about DSP. Like, he doesn't need DSP. Like, again, with his logic, I guess June the King's video about DSP is irrelevant because he's not reaching out to Phil. So I guess June the King is not professional. But you can make a professional documentary. Like, a lot of documentaries out there don't involve the subject matter all the time.
Number
Whatever.
2, if Mike Klum wants to be known as a good documentarian and he wants to have actual subjects involved in his projects, in what line of reasoning would it make any sense for him to immediately make a hit piece documentary about me because I decided to not...
Again, why is he assuming that the documentary that he could make would be a hit piece? It could just be a documentary about you without your involvement. Again, oh my God. Again, you could make a documentary without the subject matter's involvement. It may not be a great documentary. I mean, a lot of people may have it with a grain of salt, but you could still do one. Whatever.
Go through with our more objective documentary. If he made a hit piece documentary about me,
Like, how does he explain documentaries that are about people who are dead? They're not involved with the documentary, so so are those not professional?
right?
Right?
What makes you think anyone would ever work with him again? Right? The first thing they would say is, okay, so your first documentary was about Boogie, and that was sad, and he looks worse after it. And your next documentary is about Darkside Phil, but he wasn't involved, and it was a hit piece on him. Gee, I wonder if I should do a documentary with Mike Klum today. Right? Like, what are you talking about? Right? And then in addition to all of that, from everything I know about the guy, he's a nice guy, he's an objective guy, and he doesn't want to do that. He only wants to do this project with my involvement so he can make a real two-sided project. He does not want to make a hit piece because so many people have already done that on YouTube. Literally, how many people in the last couple of years just take everything my detractors have already said, edit it into their own video, and commentate over it and act like they actually did work, and then profit from it and get millions of views.
Again, you could say the same about June the King and fucking Frederick Knudsen to a degree, I guess. Whatever. You know? Come on.
It's already been done to death. It's boring, it's unoriginal, it's uninspired, and
Dude, this dude calling other people's content unoriginal and uninspired is a fucking clown show. This dude's content, all of it, is fucking unoriginal and uninspired. Especially with DSP Throwback. He did a stream recently where it's just him reacting to his own playthrough of Red Dead Redemption. A thing he could do on DSP Reacts anyway. And guess what? It's not a meaningful video. It's just him like, wow, man. Wow, the exposure's so bad. Wow. The text is so bad, man. Whoa, I can't say that anymore. Like, this is, like, shut up.
talentless. But this is what people like on YouTube because there's a lot of dumb fucking people on the internet. Well, this was going to be a different kind of project, right? So, you know, there you go.
There you go.
Now, here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Here's the deal.
Can I stop Mike from doing anything like that? No, because I won't be involved. Anyone could do that right now. They could contact anyone from my past and do a negative documentary. People have already done it, right?
I love that him not being involved. If Michael did a documentary without DSP, it's automatically negative. Automatically, it's a hit piece and all this stuff. It could be a documentary that said DSP was a cool guy, and DSP will still hype it up as a negative video.
But I don't think he's going to. He's told me he's not going to, and he has no desire to do that, right? So from a professional standpoint, it would make no sense because no one would ever want to work with him again. And it's already been done. It probably wouldn't even amount to anything.
And you know what? It says a lot. He is so quick to bring up that, oh, if he did this, it would be unprofessional and no one would want to work with him. It sounds kind of like a threat. And it's like really, really fucking a low blow type deal.
To be special because so many people have already done that on YouTube, right? So no, your concerns, I understand your concerns are warranted because this has happened already a million times. This, again, when the only treatment I've gotten on the internet is unfair treatment, you just expect that I'm going to continue to get the unfair treatment. And I understand that. I completely 100% understand that. I think that was a lot of the problems that people had with this documentary. They just didn't trust it. They thought it was just going to go poorly again for me because everything else has, right?
The Hate Army and outro kind of jump scared me. Alright, let's move on to the next video. Oh, man. This is going to be an epic. You guys, people complain about Martin Scorsese movies. Now I'm here with a 3-hour banger.
Well, let me tell.
No intermissions.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Snort,
You know what? I'm not gonna make a joke about that title. That movie's a very serious movie. Oh my god, we got this.
First of all,
Holy
let's
shit.
start with the whole big announcement yesterday that my documentary is canceled. All right. If you want the full story, watch yesterday's podcast. I went into extensive detail about all the considerations, all the factors, and what went into it. But in a nutshell,
negative Indiana Jones.
To summarize very quickly,
Why
so then
do I
we
have
can
that?
address this whole follow-up and reaction to the announcement.
Oh, this is me.
I'm 41 years
Indiana
old.
Jones
I'm going to be
impressions?
42 sooner rather than later.
Oh,
I am happily married
it's
and
about
have
the
a family.
game.
Right? Not only, my
Okay.
wife and my pet, but I have, family members, parents.
I was looking at that for the
other people who are affected by me.
The
and
audio
my
sounded fine to me, to be honest.
I
I'll be
have
honest. The audio
a
sounded fine.
long-standing,
Right?
dedicated
still
community of
changed
viewers and people who like me and my content. And I appreciate that so very much that you guys have been along with me. A lot of you have been along with me for a very long time. And that is awesome. Some of you are more newcomers, and that's also awesome. But you're all along this crazy ride with me called life, and also all of the streaming fun that we do every single day, right? And what I've come to realize more and more, particularly in the last year, is that my actions, what I say and do,
Oh my god, we're saying this again. We're just gonna
had
skip
any kind of relation with me
bit.
or contact with me. Okay?
Wait, what?
Opportunities that I choose to pass on.
Oh my god, this sounds...
My actions,
Holy shit.
what I say and do, what opportunities that I choose to take advantage of or opportunities that I choose to pass on, don't just affect me anymore. They affect everyone around me
God.
who has had any kind of relation with me or contact with me. Okay? And that's something
This
that
is so disturbing. To fucking say that what he does affects his viewers because of the relationship. Like, are you fucking them? Are you going on dates with fucking Beans and Jade? Sunday? What about Sunday? What's your opinion on Sunday?
need to really
Or
remember more
Blastoise?
often and make decisions based off of more appropriately. Because, excuse me, when I was older, okay, I mean when I was older. When I was younger,
Oh my god, dude.
I was a more sporadic guy, right? I would say and do whatever. I didn't give two craps about who responded or who said anything. Why?
Why?
Because it was just me. It's all about me and my life, and if I was someone who doesn't really give two shits about what anyone says, then who cares, right? Let everyone rage and freak out and have a reaction. I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna move along my merry way. I don't care what anyone says about me, right?
Oh my god, dude.
Actually, when I was really young, there was always...
This is so stupid because if that was the case, he would not be addressing trolls for his career. The only reason people give him shit is because he addresses the trolls. So this bullshit of, I ignored things and blah 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 is bullshit. Shut up. He says this, but then on another day he'll be like, oh yeah, back then I'd be so mad, I'd be yelling, raving, and ranting. Like, this dude is insane.
This thing I still remember to this day, right?
Right?
I was in high school, and I'm sitting at my desk in a class, and
Oh,
there's
not
these
a
two
desk
girls who were in my
at
class
lunch?
who... I mean, I was friendly with them, but it wasn't like we were friends. You know what I mean? Like, we were cordial.
Oh my god.
And
we were cordial. Okay,
I
now we
remember
know
at that point in my...
Dude, it's like he's talking as if he's afraid that one of them's gonna, like, come out with, like, a story. We were cordial, okay? We were very fucking cordial.
high school years, it was like a very hectic time for almost everyone because I guess like homecoming dance was coming up and all this shit. So, you know, it's like end of year stuff and people are freaking out. And the girl turns to me and she says, Phil, how do you do it? Right?
Oh my god, this is such a fucking sitcom. Oh yeah, man, I was too cool for prom. Everyone was freaking out. Like, shut up.
And I said, what are you talking about?
What are you talking
And
about?
she goes, how do you do it? Here you are sitting here at your desk, and you look completely cool as a cucumber.
Maybe it was the cocktail of medications. Remember, he told us he was very depressed. He was gonna do something to a girl, apparently. Then he was on a cocktail of medications. But he was also very cool about prom. Oh, okay.
You're not freaking out. You're not stressing out. She goes, how? Homecoming's right around the corner. All of us are planning. What are our plans? How are we going to handle it? What are we wearing?
How are we gonna
getting
handle
there?
it?
Who are we going with? What's this? What's that? What's this? And she says, and then of course school. We got tests coming up and this and that. And you're just sitting there. While everyone else in this class is all stressed out and freaking out.
Dude, it's so funny. That's how he is now. He's those people. Oh my god, guys, I had to upload videos. I had to play a video game. I gotta do DSP reacts. I gotta do DSP throwback. Oh my god.
You're just sitting there, relaxed. I turned to her and I said, it's because I don't care about any of it. Like, none of this really matters.
Dude,
right?
You're in fucking high school. And he's acting as if this was like a big deal. Yeah, no shit. Some people don't give a fuck about prom. DSP is so stupid. He acts as if he's so special. Like, oh, he's the first one that realized prom doesn't matter. Wow, DSP, you're so fucking cool.
This is just a fleeting moment in time. If you think about it in the stretch of our lives or whatever, this isn't going to mean anything. Give it another few months, you won't even care about it anymore. So why do I sit around and freak about this? I don't care. I was kind of a very nonchalant attitude when I was going through my younger life. I didn't care about what anyone said or did. I didn't care about impressions. I didn't care about appearance. I didn't care about shit.
Dude,
I was just
he literally did not care about appearance until LTG made fun of him. Shut up. This little segment about him bragging about his, like, teenage self is so pathetic. Dude, shut up.
going through it. Who cares? Coast through it. Get through it. Get to the next thing. While everyone else around me was always on edge freaking out, right? That's always how I was when I was younger, right? But
Right?
the problem is you can only get so far through life with that attitude. And I feel like a lot of the times that I've gone through this 15-plus year
Oh
journey
my
of being
god.
a YouTuber,
Dude,
that was
and then he acts as if, like, oh, you can't act that way forever. Dude, you can act that way for certain things. Like, this dude is so, like, one way or the other with some random stuff, but when it comes to having an actual opinion, he's nonchalantly don't care, fumbled around man. But when it comes to, like, stuff that he doesn't need to be, like, that may require some nuance, he's one way or the other. It's like no moderation in certain areas. It's like when he lies when he doesn't need to, and he tells the truth when he doesn't need to, kind of thing.
kind of the attitude. Don't give a shit. Don't care about who says what. Don't care about any impact on anything. Just keep going. And that's, just keep...
Again, that's not true, because he had rants about fucking Evil AJ. And he's like, I was nonchalant, but now I understand the importance of acknowledging people.
going is a great attitude to have. It's determination and it's being positive, but at the same time, sadly, when that's your attitude, you tend to ignore other things going on. And I think that's a lot of the time that's what's happened to me. Why am I in the position that I'm in today where the vast majority of people on YouTube who talk about me always talk about me in a negative light? Because people literally started shitting all over me on YouTube. And I just kind of ignored it. I didn't pay attention to it. I certainly didn't ride that wave and make something out of it. Like, I definitely could have capitalized on when this is how you don't play and things were coming out.
Oh my God.
And I didn't. Instead, I just chose to kind of keep going forward and doing my own thing.
No,
and
you
ignore all
ranted
the
about
nonsense.
it.
And what happened is this movement.
He
became this
didn't ignore it. He fucking had rants about it.
toxic community. This really crazy, almost like TMZ-esque group of obsessed fucking people who every moment, if I fart on stream, they'll report it like, you know, the president got assassinated or something. Like, that's how fucked up and crazy these people are.
Oh my God.
And this has just become
This
something
dude's
that's
life must be fucking boring as shit to talk like this.
arbitrary on YouTube now.
Holy shit.
Really? Like,
What
this
a-
is just allowed. It's normal now on YouTube. That's fine behavior. I mean, it's not. Anyone who's a normal person who sees this kind of behavior would say, what, are you out of your mind? Yeah, these people are, but that's just how they are. They've made years of their living off of obsessing about me and my little intricacies and things that happen in my content and streams, right? These people are just crazy. And a lot of the times I think that's because I went through my life not really caring so much about the impact of things that I say and do, and ignoring anyone who really kind of responded to.
Dude, if that's what he learned, then he should be more careful how he talks, correct? But he still says dumb shit that gets people annoyed with him. And then he gets mad when you call it out. Again, if he was such a positive, cool guy, when people like had problems with his slave trade joke, why didn't he hear them out? Because he doesn't want to empathize or try to understand why people may be offended by that joke. No, they must be crazy and stupid, right?
What I said and did, and just moving on my merry way. Now, you know, that's actually to some extent the right thing to do, because you can't just care about what every little person says, right? I got so many people who are negative about me. Why would I give two shits about what the vast majority of them say or do? What's funny is, during this whole thing, this whole documentary thing, like Mike Klum saying, oh, you got so many people who don't like you, like Mudahar. And I'm like, Mudahar? Who the fuck is that?
Dude, he had DMs with Mudahar. And he talked about Mudahar so many times last year. Shut.
Oh, that's like that guy, Some Ordinary Gamers or whatever. I'm like, I literally don't know who that is.
Oh, he is!
Apparently this guy has always hated on me and talked about me in a negative way for years. I literally don't know who the fuck it is, right?
Right?
I don't, and apparently, oh, this guy, infamous guy who doesn't like you. I don't even know that. I don't know any of these
Infamous
fucking
guy, yeah. When I first heard of Some Ordinary Gamer, that's what I knew him from, right? No, I didn't even know he had any opinion of DSP, to be honest.
people. There's entire communities based around this stuff, and I don't even know who the fuck they are.
Who the fuck they
I have no
are?
idea, right? When that guy contacted me last year, he's like, I'll pay you $5,000 for an interview. And I messaged him back. I was like, I want your...
So he lied to Mike Klum, right? Because he talked to Mudahar before Mike Klum even acknowledged him. So when Mike Klum told him that, he just lied to him and said, who's that? Huh?
money. Go donate it somewhere if that's really what you want to do. I'll have an interview with you, but not about the toxic stuff I've already answered. Anything else I'll talk about, just not that. And then he just ghosted me and never responded ever
It's
again.
so funny, right? He did that to Mudahar, but he didn't do it to the side scrollers. And the side scrollers was initially had him on to do other stuff. Really funny, right?
And apparently went on to make even more negative videos and things about me that, again, I don't know who he is. I've never...
He didn't do anything else about him. I think people are saying that he's doing a video about DSP. I don't know. That's the first time I heard about it. But that's it. He may say a few things about him here and there. Like, he talks as much about DSP as critical. Like, that's where he's at.
Never seen any of them, right? But this is what I mean. Like, when I see and hear things about me, it's always negative, so it's like, why would I pay attention to it, right?
Right.
But in this case, with this documentary, right, I really listened. I wanted to hear what would be the reaction when I said I was going to be doing a documentary about me, right? And, I mean, in general, there were two big reactions that hit. The first
Oh
reaction
man.
over here was all the people who don't like me. And their reaction was unadulterated joy.
Unadulterated joy. No. Whatever.
Because instead of having the content that they make about me be limited just to what you see on a stream every day, they felt that this documentary was going to be their opportunity to get inside.
Again, none of the trolls are sitting there like dreaming of getting inside the pig pen. He wants that to happen, I guess, but I mean, no one really cares.
Information about me and my life and my family and my history and all kinds of stuff that hasn't been made public. And
this dude hyped that up. He's like, oh, we're gonna talk about the parents. We're gonna talk about how it was raising Phil and all this stuff. And then he's like, what, people actually cared about that? What? So is it another stupid experiment? Is that what it's going to become at some point? One day, we're going to come to the podcast and say, guys, remember the podcast? Remember the documentary? It was an experiment. I wanted to see their reaction.
use that to make unlimited amounts of content. I mean, they were seeing this documentary as a way for them to have content to milk for years, right?
What does that mean? What were you going to milk? Oh my God, he did this. Guys, look at his house. I mean, he still really thinks about that fucking video where it like tallied up all the valuables in his house or some shit. It's like that like thing never went away in his head. He still thinks about it.
Take every little possible thing out of this documentary and microanalyze
Whoever
it.
made that video did massive damage. Like massive damage. Honestly. Like there's a lot of things that happened, but that for some reason I feel like it like will live forever. We will be like he'll be like ready to retire and he'll bring it up.
Make conspiracy theories about it, just like they do now with what happens on a stream, but times 1 million, right? So this was just going
how
to
can you form conspiracy theories if the documentary is showing what happened, right?
extrapolate
Extrapolate
their ability to talk shit and give them exactly what they're looking for.
We don't need a lot of work to shit on you. He acts as if like we need this or else we can't shit on him. DSP, you're an idiot every day. You wake up stupid. We don't have to try. Like, dude, you're just a boring person that says some dumb shit. Come on.
Now, of course, this documentary is not just about them. In general, the reason that this documentary was an interesting idea to me was this was going to give people who don't necessarily follow those groups, but have heard of me, likely in a negative light because of those groups, to finally get an honest take on me. The documentary was not going to be something overly positive. There was going to be positivity and the truth about my life and things in it, but also was going to have all the negative stuff, right? All the shit that I've been through, the mistakes I've made that I've fessed up to and apologized for.
He didn't apologize
over the years that I've been a YouTuber.
Shut up.
I mean, that's the thing. When you are a content creator with a public face, essentially...
Oh, get a load of this. Let's read this. Ed Sheeran, the stupid. The announcement of the doc was their most joyous occasion in their sad little lives, since trolls are too poor and unattractive to find a wife and start a family. Sir Ed, do you have a fucking family? Sir, you probably don't. And you love giving Phil money, so you probably don't even have a wife. Shut up.
Have all of your flaws exposed to the world on a daily basis. With me more than
This
most.
is like a roundabout way of
because
saying,
anything I say hits
are
this
you a
crazy
virgin?
hater echo chamber that just resonates over the internet. You'll never hear about something that I did that was good, but everyone will hear about something that I did that was bad, right? So,
Dude, whatever.
you know, because of that, I knew that a lot of people had a crazy bad opinion.
I love that people
of
are
me,
just
and
casually
maybe this
calling out
documentary would be a chance for those who are
Sir
kind
Ed
of
as
neutral
Kirk.
to
Will
see
said
both
Kirk.
sides and make a judgment for themselves. I would hope that if someone who was neutral saw the truth of the matter, who I really am, what I really do for a work day, which is not an easy day. This is not a sit back and be lazy today kind of a day. I'm a workhorse.
Are you kidding me? Dude, there's literal moments where something goes wrong and and it could have been fixed immediately. He fixes it on the fly. Like he could have opened OBS, looked at the camera, realized, oh, the camera's crooked, fix the camera. No, instead he just leaves it, starts the podcast, then realizes, then fixes it. Same with the mic. He doesn't mute the mic if he wants to adjust it. He just does it unmuted and thinks that's fine. He bangs the mic all the time.
You know, I'm here 6 days a week
Whatever.
full time, busting my butt, putting out content. I got a whole real life behind the scenes, you know, married, maintaining a household,
How does he maintain
doing
it?
all the normal things that anyone would do, plus all this work that I do 6 days a week. It's pretty crazy, you know? And a lot of people don't know that. They just want to hear that Phil's some lazy, fat, middle-aged dude with chip crumbs all over his shirt, and he just sits around lazing about and putting out videos. Maybe there are content creators out there like that. In fact, I hate to say it, I think that people compare me to other people who they call lolcows.
I love that he gets so mad that people are saying that he's a lazy person, but he's just calling other people lazy. DSP, if you don't like being called lazy, why do you call others lazy, stupid?
And they think I'm them when I'm not even close to fucking being them. I mean, couldn't be further from the truth. Do I look anything like them? Right? In any capacity? Do I
Does he really think that we only compared him to other lolcos because, like, lolcos have to be fat? Okay.
act like them? No. But I still get grouped in with
Dude,
them.
lolcos all act differently, but the one thing they have in common is a narcissism complex. But DSP is, like, way worse. Because at least, like, I don't know about Boogie, but at least from what I've seen of Wings is just kind of like, he's just a piece of shit, but he does stuff on his own terms. Same with LTG. But DSP does stuff, like, he does a lot of stuff, and he acts as if he's doing it as a favor. Like, it's just so fake with this guy. And this guy's such a lame loser of a fucking content creator. Like, his creativity is so bad. He can't even solve anything without the help of a chat.
And that's unfair. So maybe this would have been a chance to actually get the real me out there, right? And in fact, I know for a fact that there are certain parties involved, actually certain big YouTubers, who are, they talked about me in a negative light, but at the same time, they're kind of fascinated and they want to hear the real story.
I
And
I don't think that they're fascinated. I think they just don't care. They just think that it's funny that you fapped on stream. That's
invested. They wanted to know. They wanted this documentary to happen, right? And that's really who I felt the target audience was. If the target audience isn't my fans, you guys already know me. So why would you care about this documentary?
He literally was telling us in the fucking cancellation video that it was gonna be for his fans. Okay. Again, he does nothing for his fans. Nothing other than existing.
Definitely not made for my haters. They're going to hate on me no matter what, right?
He also said it was for his haters. Now he's just retcutting his own statement.
It's really for
okay.
this third neutral group.
Now it's
That's
really
who
for the neutral people.
The documentary was really for, okay?
Okay,
But
yeah,
the problem was,
very honest.
undoubtedly, the other reaction that I heard to my announcement of the documentary, and that was basically my biggest, longest time supporters, fans, viewers, and family members, who I all spoke with about this. And
Who you
essentially,
talked to? His
the
cousin?
overwhelming response
This cousin
that I
called,
got from
Phil,
them
you must not do this.
was, don't do it. All right? And there was all different reasons. Okay?
I think the Bernelios, the parents were like, we don't want to be in this fucking stupid ass documentary, Phil. Get it, cancel it, or we're gonna like fucking do something. And then he was like, okay, mom. Okay, mommy.
Essentially, the biggest reason that everyone really feels is the reason I shouldn't do this is the fact that every time that I have tried to get represented fairly or get a fair shake, it has never worked. It has always been blown up the wrong way, right? Or I get betrayed or treated poorly.
Been betrayed.
Again, my fans are already with me. They don't need this. And I am happy where I am with my business. You know,
is he happy?
I'm making a living. I'm having a good time, right? It's not like I'm in any kind of dire straits or anything like that. I mean, there's ups and downs. Right now I'm in a downward trend because it's January ad revenue on YouTube is abysmally bad. It's gone. And now I've actually been negatively affected by fake memberships here on YouTube. This VPN abuse. People who normally would have become a member or re-upped their memberships now didn't. So now I'm looking every day at my income and
Dude, that's a load of shit. That's such a lie. People who would normally re-up are now re-upping. Huh? So they weren't fans then.
channel income is now way down.
He's really taking advantage of people getting gifting members, and then like this constantly, because no one was re-upping.
For the month of January as a result of this. Now I got to try to figure out some way to make that up, you know? That's the thing. I'm at a level where I'm good, but there are fluctuations. I don't have fuck you money. Like a lot of people say, oh, I'm a big YouTuber. I can do whatever I want. I'm never going to be in that position, you know? But I'm okay with where I am. You know what I mean? Like, I'm happy with where I am. I don't need to blow up and become hugely popular on YouTube. That's not my goal, nor am I seeking that. So
he's not seeking to blow up, but why does he try to every time? Huh?
That's what I mean. This documentary isn't for my biggest fans or whatever. It's and essentially their reaction is, we like things how they are right now. Okay. And
it is so ridiculous that this dude has no like creative like bone, that it's only complacency. The only thing he tries to experiment with is stuff that may turn out badly, but he doesn't do anything else. And this dude is so creatively bankrupt. It's nothing interesting, nothing different, nothing like that is unique in its own at all. Hold on, he has to take this call. I mean, drink of water. Oh my god, you know what? He was doing that a lot, and it's so fucking annoying. Fucking literally has to, like, drink water, look at the camera, and go, like, dude, oh my god.
I like where I am right now.
I do like get to piss off the trolls.
I don't want to risk that and ruin it. And that's the
Get
feedback.
This, the trolls are making fun of me for
that I got from
drinking my water and
is
just,
right now, all
That's
the
how
drama
fucked up
of
they
last
are.
year has worn out. Correct?
Wait, what is worn
and
out?
because feedback that I got from my audience is right now, all the drama of last year has worn out. Correct?
He acts as if like drama's like a meter. Like, oh, it's at full, now it's empty, it's filling up again. Like, dude, come on.
And because of that, we don't want that drama to come back. So please don't make it, right? This documentary seems like the next drama thing. You know, after the bullshit interview, after the harassment by Keemstar and all that shit last year.
What harassment? Well, whatever.
Things are finally calming down. Just focus on you, focus on your business, focus on positivity. You got a lot of good stuff coming up. Brand new releases are coming out. You got a throwback channel you're trying to get off the ground. Your wife is coming back into your content for the first time in over 5 years. All these positives happening. Why would you now want to kind of...
The more he talks about it, the weirder it sounds. His wife is coming back. Like, did she like run away and then she's like, and then like she found her way home? Like, this is really weird. I hate how he's talking
with this
about
documentary.
It. I don't know how to verbalize it or how to describe it, but it's like it is so weird.
Take this crazy big chance. And again, this was not just feedback from one or two people. I had long-standing fans emailing me and talking to me about this, family members, and I was like, all right, you know what?
All right.
After listening to everyone, okay, I've decided that this is the case, right? That this is what I should do. All right? And I'm happy that I came to the decision that I did.
Okay, dude, he's talking really slow.
All right, I am. I'm happy that I came to the decision that I did.
Like, this
I think
is
the right
way
thing for
slower
now.
than he normally
You know,
talks.
like I said yesterday, I feel like this documentary,
Who's
if I ever
calling?
do one, could
Who
work.
the fuck's
but I don't
calling?
think it's now is the right time. There's too much going on. As I always also told you, I've got personal things
they can go to the
going on
voicemail.
in
I don't
my
know who
life.
this person is.
All right, right now, that you guys have no clue about, that are affecting me and my family, and I don't see the point of putting extra stress on everything for something that's just a gamble. That it could work out, and some people might like me more, and I might get more viewers on my
Dude, everything's a gamble.
streams, and
Whatever.
people might finally see me in a more positive light, Or it could go the other way, and the entire internet just hates on me more. I mean, let's be honest. Boogie, with his documentary with Mike Klum, probably thought that documentary was going to help him. It did not help him. It made
How does he know it caused damage though? How did he know it didn't help him though?
him look 10 times worse.
Think about it. How did he know it didn't help him? It just whatever.
And now he's in a worse off position where everyone hates him even more. So why the hell would I want to do that documentary, right? It's a risk.
You see, this is a day after, and he slightly toxified the documentary. Now he's saying, "Oh, why would I want to do this documentary? It might make people hate me even more."
And again, not to say that this documentary was going to be the same as Boogie's. It was going to be a completely different project. But there's always that level of risk, right? So that's really the factors that went into it. And all things considered, after weighing through all of this, right, I decided against it, right? Again, maybe somewhere down the line, when my story has progressed further, I feel like a documentary like this is something you want to do when you've kind of reached the end of the road, and now you want to tell your story. As I told you, if I do a documentary like this, this will be it for me. I'm not going to be doing a documentary now, and then in 5 years, and then in 10 years. It's just now. That's it. One documentary. And I'm never doing something like that ever again. All right?
All right.
So, I generally feel that this is completely the right decision to make. I'm happy that I made this decision before things got too wrapped up. I basically wanted to make this decision before real work got off the ground with this. Because
it
as
really
I said,
sounds like the more you listen to it, the more it sounds like you got a little scared. He got a little scared about it.
This was going to be the week where we were going to actually plan shooting and real work. Everything up to this point was literally just a couple conversations.
Some people, you know, like you get a little nervous.
And initial plans
you
and
know,
ideas.
It's like, oh,
that was it. Nothing
you know,
else.
It's like when you first go on a trip and you're like, oh fuck, I don't want to go on this trip. Oh fuck, then you do it and you're like, oh, this fucking rules.
You know. That's why I said, all right, well, I don't want to go too far, and then wheels start turning, and plans start being made, and things like that, and then next thing you know, you cancel late, and now you kind of screw people over. I didn't want it to go that far either, you know. And that's what's hilarious, because you people in the chat have no idea what the hell any of you are talking about. There's people who you've only listened to detractors and idiots. Okay, you need to stop. You're really dumb. If you listen to a single detractor channel or idiot who's talked about this, you've listened to a moron who made everything up. There's two people who know about this documentary, me and Mike Klum, and that's it. So idiots saying, well, oh, he spent this much money and he did this and he did that. No.
Okay, I will say the 10K, I kind of wanted a little bit more context on that, but he did spend money on a plane ticket and a hotel and dinner. I mean, that stuff wasn't free, Phil. I mean, it was free for him. I mean, he didn't have to pay for that, but, I mean, Mike still had to put money for that, you know?
You're an idiot.
So I wouldn't say it was free or they spend zero money on the fucking project, but whatever.
Why do you believe morons, right? What are you talking about, right? The whole idea.
But you can argue he's wasting time, though, which is, you know, par for the course for DSP.
Was that it was open-ended, and at any point, either Mike or I could decide against doing it, right? That was always our agreement, so that way we have the openness of doing a real work together, a real collaboration, as opposed to, you know, you get locked into something you don't want to do, and now you're screwed. That's never what this was supposed to be, right? And that's why we had it like that. You know, let's say, for example, we had actually really started work on this thing, and we were months into it, but then Mike realized this just isn't very entertaining. It's not going to work. He could have canceled it. Or maybe, you know, we're a couple months in, and then something happens, and I can't keep working on it, right?
So if that's the case, right, then why didn't he try to do it anyway? If that was the agreement, right, correct? Why not just try it anyway? Then he could just back out of it. It's almost like he started to feel distrusting of Mike for some reason. Correct?
That was what it was supposed to be, but I didn't want it to get to that point. That's why I canceled it this early.
Why?
Right? So
why?
That basically we could be in a situation where it wouldn't be like, oh my God, we've gotten so far into all of this that now time, resources, and everything has been wasted. Like, I'll be honest, yeah, that would have been really disappointing if I'm taking time out from my work schedule and we film and then the documentary doesn't happen. Yeah, that would have been upsetting. And I'm sure for Mike, you know, scheduling the filming crew to start filming and coming out here and doing all this work and all the things that we had planned. For
He hyped this documentary up so much.
Actually begin and then,
is so
and then not come to fruition. That would have been disappointing.
He was like, "Yeah, you thought I was going to do nothing this year? No big plans, but look at us now. We have a documentary, Cat on Stream, DSP throwback, and like one's hard canceled, one is soft canceled, or it's going to be soft canceled, and the other one will persist because it's the easiest to maintain."
But what you guys got to understand is that Mike is a very busy guy. He's got a ton of things going on. I'm not his only documentary. He's got a million things in the works. You're going to be seeing more from him coming up. And that's cool, you know. I wish him the best. I was not his only project that he was working on this year. He's got a million things going on at once. I'm one of the many
I'm glad
things
he mentioned that
in
because,
his
you know,
machine
obviously,
that he's working on
know,
right now.
Right?
So,
you know what I mean?
it's not a big deal. But that's the hilarious part is, again, for these crazy people who are just so obsessed on me, to them, this was the only thing in life. So the fact that this documentary is canceled must mean that this was insane amounts of time and effort wasted for everyone around. You're wrong. You're idiots.
You're wrong.
You're fucking morons. You should shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay?
Stupid.
Okay. So, by the way, enjoy your bands. Okay. So that's that. And that's the end of that discussion. Really, there's no reason to bring it up again. I just wanted to let you know. The funny part about it is, like I said, now that I have canceled this documentary, you see two reactions again. The reaction from the detractor, hater community is, "Oh, no."
DSP wishes that was the response. In fact, I love that DSP and Rich are the only two people that are, like, convinced the trolls are having a meltdown over this. They are the only ones convinced. All of the trolls are just like, they're just laughing that this dude wasted time and like hyped it up to just cancel. He hyped this documentary up. Think about it. He spent time hyping it up to then back out because he got scared it could be negative.
No. It's just hilarious because the first portion of the reaction was rejoicing because they think they're going to get all of this content. And now that the documentary is canceled, the reaction is panic and freaking out. And now how do we damage control this? Number one.
This is so stupid. I hate he's sitting there telling us, "Oh, well, they're damage control. They're afraid that they're not gonna have any content to milk." Like, dude, what?
Phil wasted all of Mike's time and money. Never happened.
He didn't waste his time. You're not doing the documentary. I consider that a waste of time. You talk to a dude for months, right? To then just not do the documentary. You know, that's kind of a waste of time.
And number two, Phil's a coward for not doing the documentary, right? So here it is.
Yeah, these are subjective statements. He's saying these as if like they're wrong. Or that you can't fucking think that. But you can easily think that. He literally just said it could become negative.
We spin this into more content, make more shit up. More controversial.
But how is it making it up? He didn't waste time. He wasted time on your dumbass.
Shit up, right? So that's what they do. And that's what they're going to do. That's literally all they do is they lie and they create controversy and conspiracy so they have content. They're garbage people. They shouldn't exist. All right?
So we shouldn't exist because we called DSP a coward and what else? We called him a coward. And we said that he wasted Mike's time. Okay.
I don't care about what they say. But
he doesn't care what we say. He says all this stuff. Says it's funny. I don't care. Okay.
The reaction that I'm getting from the people who are true fans is relief. Wow, really? So you're not doing it? This is great. Because now we can focus on you and your content and all the hot new games coming out this year and the throwback.
Dude. All his chat just magically has all of DSP's cope points. This is stuff that DSP says to cope when something doesn't happen the way he wants it. Well, you know, at least like we can still play games together. We have, you know, new games are coming out, man. Like look at what happened when he canceled Project 7. When he got the money from Patreon and he said, "Oh, the stars aligned. Everyone told me I did the right thing." Oh yeah, everyone said thank you, Phil. Thank you for playing Street Fighter V Beta. Thank you, Phil. Thank you for canceling Project 7. We didn't want that anyway. Isn't that funny? Hilarious. But yeah, the trolls are the one that are coping, obviously.
Channel and having your wife on your streams again and all this positive stuff that's already in motion, and we don't have to worry about at some point this year there's going to be big interruptions to your schedule and you're not going to be able to stream for extended periods of time during big new releases, and you're going to be overworked and overstressed, and then when this thing comes out it's going to be an endless cycle of drama and nonsense for everyone. So I'm happy about that basically now people are like
slight toxic
relaxing
spin.
Because of this decision.
But we spin. Remember, guys, we spin stuff negatively, but that's not spinning it negatively. He took a documentary and said that it could spawn drama. Okay.
That's what I think. I mean, if you see those reactions, I feel like I did the right thing. When I see the reaction from the hater community, the way that they reacted and freaking out, I did the right thing.
Doing the
and
right
when I see
thing.
relief from my truest, biggest supporters and fans, I know I did the right thing. Okay? And
what a silly
for those of you who just wanted drama and now you're not going to get it and you're so sad, don't worry. The lol cows are still out there for you. There's a whole fucking podcast about them, and there's tons of them for you to go make fun of.
But why would I want to watch the lol cow podcast? It's really boring. And it's so stupid to say that, oh, there's other lol cows. I mean, DSP, you not doing the documentary just makes you more fun to watch, I guess. Because technically, think about it. He has more opportunities to have drama happen.
It just ain't going to be here. You're in the wrong spot. Okay?
I don't know. I feel I'm in the right spot. Cool.
All right.
Cool after like
so let's now continue on.
Cool.
Got the drip. Go.
All right. Now we get to this segment. Yes. We're winding it down, guys. Finally, we're nearing the end of this epic.
The hate army troll.
It's the hate army, bro.
Hate army.
Shout
that
out
guy.
to hate.
Good vibes to the
Shout
hate
out to
army.
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out
Shout
for
out to
hate.
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for
Shout
hate.
out for hate.
Shout out to fucking hate. Oh my god. The fucking buffer. That buffer.
There is one type of documentary you could make. You have a uniquely created cult. You have uniquely created a cult of people who love to hate you. Some restream, others watch.
By the way, this is 1 Minute Man. Obviously.
The restreamers for years. Collectively, they're wasting thousands of hours, but they can't stop. You're like the worst
Let's do this again.
cult. You have uniquely created a cult of people who love to hate you.
That's right. The cult of hate, buddy.
Some restream, others watch. The restreamers for years. Collectively, they're wasting thousands of hours, but they can't stop. You're like
1 Minute Man. You give this dude money every day at a specific time. Literally, he's the last fucking bitch to make this statement. The last one. No, like, anyone can dunk on trolls, but 1 Minute Man. He can't. He can't. Him and Only Iced Coffee cannot dunk on trolls. They just factually can't.
the worm in Baldur's Gate 3, low focusing on you as the cult leader.
What?
Okay then.
Okay,
There you
then.
go.
Do you know what that means?
And the
DSP?
sad fact about all of that is, I'm
What's
not
the worm, Phil? Explain
asking for it. I'm not wanting that. I never designed that.
it. Never designed that. Who asks for haters? Or like,
I don't want it to continue. If it could end right now, I want it to. So imagine it's
he wants it to end, but he also tells us every day he doesn't want people to lose their channels or whatever the fuck.
essentially
Okay.
being followed as if you were some kind of a leader. Like there's a cult of people following you out there, stalk your every move, won't leave you alone, right? As if you're some kind of an influential cult leader, but you wouldn't want anything.
DSP, you had armies of people telling you the same talking points you tell us every day to make you feel better about not doing the documentary. Okay.
But the opposite of that. I don't want them following me. I don't want them watching me. I don't want them caring about anything I say and do. I just want them to go the fuck away and get lives. Because the truth is, if any of them had a real life, none of them would do that. You see? But they don't. None of them have real lives.
yeah, I don't have
They're
a
just
life.
sitting away on the internet, squandering their lives away, doing this kind of toxic shit. And apparently, they don't have anyone
This is a really positive segment.
in their lives who cares enough about them to tell them to stop.
He acts as if we're all doing fucking meth or some shit. We're all doing drugs. We're all doing fucked up shit.
Because the truth is, if they had family members, friends, significant
And this, if they had family members, so do trolls just manifest on the planet? They don't have parents? They don't have like any other form of family. Like, shut up.
Others who actually cared.
And he says this stuff, but he was single for a long period of time. And imagine how positive he'd respond if someone said, "Oh, DSP is so lonely and has no life. If he did, he would have a family."
About them.
It's such a bitch move. He's saying all this stuff while he has a wife and a cat, right? Like, come on, man.
See that kind of crazy obsessive behavior and be like, you got to stop. You're out of your mind. We want to help you. Let's get you into rehab, whatever it is, detox you.
Go to rehab? Oh, okay. Oh, welcome to rehab. Billy, why are you here? Oh, I just kept drinking alcohol, man. It was like affecting my life. Okay, Sally, why are you here? Oh man, I took too much meth, man. Meth is crazy times, man. Okay. Jimmy, why are you here? I did videos about DSP. Oh my god. This guy needs to go to special rehab. Get him out of here. Mods, send him to special rehab.
From this shit that you're in and get you a real life again. But sadly, these people don't have that.
What?
Right?
Right?
They don't have that at all. For whatever reason. I can't imagine.
This dude is so lame. So many people have different, like, he says how other people have different lives and all this stuff, right? And he's acting as if you're a troll, you just automatically have a bad life. Your life already sucks. What? What kind of logic is this? Oh, you troll Phil, your life must automatically suck, right?
If I was acting like that, I would probably have people all over me saying, what are you doing with your life, right?
He says this, but he also tells us every day. He used to be a big-time troll in the FGC. It's so funny. Like, I know a lot of people might say, well, in reality, you know, whatever. But the thing is, according to me, he was trolling back then. So I'm gonna hold it over his head. He trolled someone to the point where they wanted to fight him in the parking lot at a fighting game tournament scene or whatever. And when he got there, he was like, I was drunk. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm sorry, man. I was drinking. Like, we don't troll DSP to the point where we're starting fights with him and we're telling him to meet us at a parking lot. But DSP did, and no one stopped him. So why is he telling us, right, that we're doing fucked up shit when that didn't happen? You know what I mean?
But I really do feel that this whole mentality of internet trolling, internet hate communities, drama communities, gossip communities, conspiracy communities on the internet, this is an obsession and it's an addiction like any other. It's just as powerful as drugs, alcohol.
Shitting on DSP is as powerful as drugs. DSP should take meth. He needs to take some drugs. So he can experience it. He should talk from experience. So I think he should do some meth. Do some meth, cocaine, speedballing. Maybe just do some bleach. Throw in bleach. Just do it.
Or any other addiction. Food, sex, all these addictions.
Food and
this
sex.
Internet trolling addiction is exactly the same thing. You get used to it. It's part of your routine. You have social groups based around it.
Oh my
but
God.
It's not healthy behavior. It's squandering your life away for nothing.
This dude found a wife online, by the way.
But it concretely hurts you and everyone around you, and you refuse to accept it, and you refuse to acknowledge it. You just keep doing it as if it's an accepted arbitrary action. When in reality, people who are outside of your bubble.
DSP, okay, look, man. I'm gonna read the fortune cookie, but it's very helpful. For hate is never conquered by hate. Hate is conquered by love. He should try conquering the hate by love. He should love us. That's what I'm saying. Like, because we apparently hate him so much. And in order for him to conquer the hate that he has against him, he should just love it. Love it. He should conquer the hate by love. Don't ask me what that means.
And say, what is wrong with that person? That person needs help.
What's wrong
That's
with that
the
person?
sad fact, is they don't see it from outside the bubble. They're so in their own focus group of people, enabling them to keep this behavior up, that they think that this is fine, and it's not. They need help, and no one's helping.
Giving him money
That's
every day.
sad. And how many more? There's more and more people like this every day. Antisocial, sitting on the internet all day.
Oh my god, dude. And then we
whether it's on a smartphone, a desktop,
the boomerang. Oh, these kids these days, they're antisocial because they're on the phone. Like, dude, people use their phone for a lot of things. This is kind of social. Think about it. I'm making a video, I'm uploading it, people are sitting and watching. And then they have thoughts, and then they comment. And then I read the comments. Or I go on Twitter, I type something on Twitter, someone responds, I might reply back if it's something I want to reply to, whatever the fuck. All this stuff is all social behavior. It's just online. And this dude is saying it's antisocial because it's not like back in my day when people just had newspapers and they were just sitting in a train. Like, why doesn't he hang out with people? If this dude is telling us how antisocial we are, why was he so terrified that Mike Klum may make a negative documentary?
Other device, everything they do is online. No social interaction. No.
DSP, everything you do is online. And, you know, this dude is saying that it's antisocial to do stuff online. Everything that we do is online. His whole career is online. And he tells us every day, oh, this is so meaningful. We're having meaningful interactions. Oh, we're so meaningful today. We're meaningful together. All this bullshit. But the trolls who have an online community, oh, we're the ones with a bad life, or antisocial, all this stuff. But DSP has a community in his own fucking career that he gets paid from. And that's not and that's meaningful. But that's not antisocial, that's social. But what we do is antisocial. We need help.
Meaningful relationships at all in their life, just sitting there online, their entire existence.
Just go there and give DSP money. That's what normal people do.
Is some little microcosm of existence, hyper focused on the one community where they actually feel like they get attention in life. And
guess what? That's your fucking community. Derek is in your chat every day begging for your attention, for your acknowledgement. And he seeks validation from his own fucking community. And he's sitting there saying, oh, these trolls, they do this stuff to seek validation from their own community and all this stuff. It's not healthy. But his whole chat is begging for his attention every day.
It's a toxic online community of fucking people doing harmful stuff. That's not an existence at all. I wouldn't even call that a human existence. It's not. And how many more people are having lives like this, right? That's what needs to be analyzed, not the guy who for 15 years dicked around playing video games.
Human behavior has been analyzed, though. People understand some of this stuff. There's a lot of, like, phenomenons and all this other shit with humanity and all this other nonsense. But this dude is so fucking close-minded and ignorant that he doesn't understand anything. The fact that he's not understanding the hypocrisy or the nonsense of him just shitting on other people doing stuff online is phenomenally ridiculous.
On the fucking internet. How about the people who obsess over that guy for no reason? That's who needs to be analyzed. Turn the cameras back on you. Who's the lol cow here? You are.
How am I the lol cow? I'm literally, like, I am at least putting a formulated, cohesive thought as to why you're being a dumbass. His whole response to trolls is just, they're crazy, they're stupid, they're antisocial, they have no lives, they have no family members, people don't love them, and all this stuff, which could be insinuated that he's pretty much telling us to, like, Minecraft ourselves. But I'm sitting here like, well, he's kind of wrong for this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like, come on.
I'm not a fucking lol cow. Sorry. Just because idiots say it, because they apply their own projections to me, does not make it fact. Okay? You're the ones making the content, not me. I'm just sitting here playing games, having fun with it.
Yeah, but you're reacting this way to the content? That's dumb. Like, think about it, though. He's saying that our content is trash and stupid and all this stuff, but we're getting these massive rants about how we're antisocial and how we're addicted and have no family and no lives. Like, he's putting that amount of thought into it. Come on.
Small audience, you're the ones pumping out thousands of hours of insane content. You're the lol cows. You're the ones that are being milked. Do you not understand this? You're the lol cow. You created it. You. I guess not, because self-awareness is something very rare in this world.
Oh, I agree. Self-awareness is pretty weird for Phil. Okay, guys, guess what? We made it to the end. Everyone, we made it this far. Holy shit. It's only shy under 4 hours. Very short video. You're probably finishing it like that. So quick. But luckily, you can pause the video whenever you want. Thank you for watching. I'm just gonna wrap it up. And guys, have a good week. Bye-bye.
Time to skedaddle on out of here.